Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
It's time for Mechanicsburg High School Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com and now on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube, available on all smart devices. Wildcat Athletics is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, Lawnscapes Inc., Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, Walters and Galloway Attorneys at Law, West Shore Home, the Wildcat Foundation, Wolf Brewing Company, and your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care. Now, let's check in with Ben Shad for this week's edition of Foundation Facts with the Wildcat Foundation.
Hello, Wildcat fans, and thanks for tuning in for this varsity contest on GoMechanicsburg.com and now on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg, presented by 11 Oaks Farm in Newville. We'll get you out to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in just a bit, but right now it's time for our pregame segment. Pregame, as always, presented by the Wildcat Foundation, and this is Foundation Facts, and once again, I am joined by Jeff Pratt. Jeff, good seeing you after all this time, and glad to have you back for another year of Foundation Facts.
Hi, Ben. Thank you. It's great to be back. It's kind of weird. Summer goes by so quick and school starts, and we're already going to be in the middle of everything in the heat of stuff.
Absolutely, and let's just get right into it. I mean, so many great projects, so many great people that we talked to last year. Kind of give us a recap of the big highlights that the foundation put together last year and what you're looking forward to in this 2024 to 2025 school year and beyond.
It's interesting. The foundation runs sort of on the same cycle as the school district, so we kind of kick off our season anew in August. It's a big transition month for us. We're kind of wrapping up some things we did last spring, and we're going to start into the programs and things we'll do this fall and this school year. The stuff we've been wrapping up, we handed out last spring $36,000 in scholarships to 8 Mechanicsburg seniors. So now we're going to pay those out as they head into their freshman year. It gives us a connection to some kids who move on from the district, and we follow them a little bit as they go to where their next step is. And it's a fun process for us. Those scholarships are a big part of what we do. We spent the last year, our grants program is a big deal, probably the focus of what we do and raise money for. Last April, we met our committee and picked out our grant programs for the upcoming year. So we awarded those grants last year, $85,000. It'll be more than that for this school year. So we're beginning the process as teachers get back in to their school. We're beginning to work through those grant programs with each of them to make the payouts and get in touch with what they're doing with each of those programs. So we kind of we cross over different years and we kind of renew each year what we start doing with everything. One of the big changes for us is we have a board of 20 community volunteers, and August is our retreat. It's our renewal purpose where we lose some longtime board members. We lost 4 board members this past year. They graduated. They served 6-year terms, sometimes 3-year terms. But Nathan McWilliams was a former board president, went off our board. Dan DeLong, a 6-year member, went off our board. Megan Brown, who you had on last year for Foundation Facts, went off our board after a 6-year term, and Michelle Dugan. So with that, we also welcomed 4 new board members, Donald Despenis, Dave Congora, Jeff Green, and Elizabeth Shear. All 4 of them have had kids in the school district, so it's a big tie to what we get from our board and our foundation. And one of our standing members of our foundation board is the school district superintendent. So we're transitioning there as we welcome Dr. Bitts into his new role, and he joins our foundation board with some great background and knowledge to bring to what we do.
And it's great to just have that insider knowledge. Again, community members helping community members. It's what it's been all about. And it was great to hear all the stories from last year, and hopefully many, many more upcoming this year. You guys kind of I almost want to say what kind of restarts your calendar is the golf outing you have just before the school year starts, kind of get everybody back together, have a night out of fun. Give us a little recap about how this went this last weekend at the time of when this is going to air.
Yep. We run 3 main fundraising events during the year. We have an annual appeal that comes in the fall. We do Wildcat Night. The golf outing is what kicks that off each school year. It's held the Friday before teachers return into the district. It's usually the 2 Fridays before the school district starts. And we do it at Carlisle Barracks Golf Course, and we sold it out the last several years. We sold it out this year in a month. We get a strong community response for it. Our fundraising events, Wildcat Night, which will be February 21st, 2025 this year at Stocks Manor, the golf outing, they're run by our board of volunteers. They're coordinated by them. So people that, again, have kids in the school district but work their jobs, put a lot of time and effort to make these things work. Jennifer Shockey is a new board member for us last year. This was her first year. She took over the golf outing for us. And part of the event runs the same. We host 144 golfers. We get them out at Carlisle Barracks. We pray for nice weather, and we got that this time. And she added some new twists to some things. We had 2 members of a former member and a current member of the Mechanicsburg Wildcats golf team joined us to help raise funds on the course. Zach Rangan is a senior this year. He's the lead golfer on the boys team in a state qualifier last year. He hit drives for us on one of the holes for donations. Short par 4 where he could drive the green. It was a 290-yard par 4. Very good at driving the green. Very straight every single drive. Sometimes a little short, sometimes a little long, but very good golfer. And then Bailey Toporser did a putting hole for us where it was an eagle putt, where she gave people the line or either hit the putt for them. Bailey did it last year too. She graduated last year. She's a freshman at Millersville. It was a great way to bring some students in to help us out. Students at Mechanicsburg, where we try to help them out, they're helping us out. And one new addition to our golf outing this year, we did it sort of with the kickoff to schools. We have an online outing running with it, online auction running with it. We got 20 items either donated through community partners, people like Arc Fitness or USA Ninja Camp Hill or the Vault training. So we got some gift certificates for training lessons, memberships, birthday parties, a birthday party at USA Ninja Camp Hill, a membership at Arc Fitness. We also have things like tickets to the Penn State Whiteout game this year, tickets to another Penn State game, tickets to the Hershey Bears, tickets to a Penn State ice hockey game. 20 items in total. The auction opened up a few days before our outing. It's going to run through August 29th, which is the last day of the first week of school. And it's been a success for us so far on the opening night. It's a nice way to connect with people outside the golf audience that we bring in.
And Jeff, so many exciting things. New year, new people. We're on a new platform for us on the streaming end of things. Obviously, the mission of the Wildcat Foundation still stays the same. So for those of us who are new, for those of us who need the reminder, tell us how to get involved. What's the best way to spread the word and help out the Wildcat Foundation?
So our main purpose is an education foundation. So we raise money to hand out grants and scholarships that are all tied back to the Mechanicsburg Area School District. So there are things that can support us, like our golf outing, which we just had. Our Wildcat Foundation night will be February 21st, 2025 at Stocks Manor again, same location as last year. Those events are great ways to support us, and through attendance and or through auctions and things, we run with them. We have an online auction running now with our golf event. It's a long address, but it's Auctria, AUCTRIA.events/ and it's Wildcat Foundation Golf Outing. That website's on our email newsletter that went out last week and will go out again. That website address is also on our website, wildcatfoundation.org. Those are great ways to support what we do. The other way to do that is read our content, follow these videos, see what these teachers do that we support. The best way we can tell our story is by telling what they do, what our grant money goes to. There are some great programs teachers put on, a lot of effort, a lot of things outside the school budget, a lot of things on their time that we support them. That's the best way you can learn what we do.
and it goes to such a great cause, helping out so many students. We learned so many diverse programs last year, and we look forward to showcasing many, many more this season. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. And folks, thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Foundation Facts, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. You can learn more about them online at wildcatfoundation.org. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll take a look at the Wildcat Weekly Scoreboard, that presented by Operation Wildcat, right after this quick break.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
Name brand at this price? Is this for real?
Not exactly. That's Bargain Bliss setting in. You're basking in the glow of name brand beauty products at shockingly low prices.
Oh, that's so refreshing.
There's nothing like a little me time.
Grocery outlet, bargain market.
Just one more minute.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub surface and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Craig was in the Rockies and had to cut his ski trip short because he was having severe knee pain.
Lauren came in, she was really discouraged. She had tried 3 months of therapy, nothing was working. She really wanted to get back to volleyball.
We found that he had severe arthritis in both knees and his hip.
She needed shoulder arthroscopy with slap and posterior labral repair.
Simultaneous bilateral total knee replacements.
6 months of recovery and Lauren's back, happy as ever.
3 months after his final surgery, Craig sent us pictures of him skiing the Rocky Mountains. And that's what makes our job here at OSS Health so fulfilling.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
Inventory levels are back at the Bobby Rahal Auto Group, where honesty, selection, and great prices meet. We never priced vehicles over MSRP and never will. Come visit us today and drive away with your dream car at a great value. Bobby Rahal Automotive Group. your trusted destination for the best vehicles and exceptional service. Online at bobbyrayhall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management are proud supporters of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When you're faced with tough business, personal, and financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. They specialize in retirement planning and complex financial situations as their team helps you define and attain your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you. Advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call today. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Ben Shad back here with you, and it's time for our weekly Wildcat scoreboard presented by Operation Wildcat. Tomorrow, Saturday, August 24th, girls soccer plays host to Northeastern at 1 p.m. Field hockey also at home against Palmyra for a 1:30 p.m. face-off. Boys soccer at home also against Northeastern for a 3:45 kickoff there. Cross country travels to Warwick for some running under the lights at 7:45. On Monday, August 26th, golf travels to Mifflin County for a 1 p.m. match start time. Boys soccer travels to Cedar Cliff for a 3:45 p.m. kickoff. Girls tennis is at home against Palmyra. That's a 4 p.m. match start time. Girls soccer plays host to Cedar Cliff at 6:30 p.m. kickoff for that one. Tuesday, August 27th, field hockey travels to Cedar Cliff for a 4 p.m. face-off. Girls volleyball at home at the gym against Central Dauphin for a 6 p.m. match start time. Wednesday, August 28th, girls tennis plays host to Camp Hill at 4 p.m. Boys soccer also at home against Chambersburg for a 6:30 p.m. kickoff. Girls soccer travels to Chambersburg for a 7 p.m. kickoff. And rounding things out on Thursday, August 29th, field hockey travels to Chambersburg for a 4 p.m. face-off. Girls tennis travels to Carlisle for a 4 p.m. match start time. And football plays host to Palmyra at 7 p.m. For the latest on Wildcat Athletics, visit GoMechanicsburg.com or on Twitter at GoMechanicsburg. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll join Mark Garland for Coach's Corner right after this on GoMechanicsburg.com, now on YouTube at GoMechanicsburg. Tonight's game, as always, is presented by 11 Oaks Farm in Newville.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. There was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
This is you. And this is us. Hi, we're True Green. We're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. That means we'll give you a pro-level lawn guaranteed. That's a satisfaction guarantee. That's a price match guarantee. That's a guarantee on top of your guarantee. So you can do less of this and more of this.
Walters & Galloway Attorneys at Law is your hometown law firm and devotes a significant part of their practice to estate planning, estate administration, elder law, real estate law, family law, and more. Let their expert team help you sell, purchase, or refinance your home too. Their team can work to prepare your will, trust, power of attorney, or aid in the estate care of a loved one. With 2 convenient Mechanicsburg office locations, you can learn more and make an appointment today by visiting them online at waltersgalloway.com or call 717-697-4700.
Allison and Michael have been in their home for 10 years, and their bathroom really needed an update.
I like doing home projects. Would have definitely taken me longer than we have.
They needed a more convenient option, so they called West Shore.
The design consultant made it really easy.
I left for work with the kids and they showed up. Morning.
Have a nice day at school.
By dinner time, we had our bathroom.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company is Mechanicsburg's newest family and pet-friendly social experience with food and drink options for the community, from the community. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company is just off South Market Street near the all-new Legacy Park. Stop in before, during, or after the game for food crafted from the freshest local ingredients, plus many award-winning drinks made on site. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park, Suite 400, online at wolfbrewingco.com. or call 717-590-7917.
It's time for Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Here's head coach Dave Heckard and the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Garland.
Pregame continues on GoMechanicsburg.com. It is time for Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. And this year we welcome Dave Heckard, first-year head coach with the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. He's been an assistant under Anthony Rose for a few years, the head wrestling coach in Mechanicsburg, but now taking the head whistle, if you will. Coach, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right, thanks.
All right.
So how are things going through the first couple of weeks of camp? How has being a head coach been for you so far?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is surround yourself with good people, and then it makes your job a lot easier. So, and I feel like we've done that. So it's been a pretty smooth transition for me, and the first couple weeks of practice and camp were, I thought, were pretty good. Good energy. Kids had good practices. The weather was good. I mean, sometimes in the summer you can get into 90-degree practices, and I felt like this summer it wasn't as hot, so kids were moving a little faster, and so we had a great camp, and I thought everything went pretty smooth, and the kids did really well.
You are from the coaching tree of the late great Tim Rimfel. What did you learn from Coach Rimfel that you will instill into these young men and on this 2024 version of the Mechanicsburg Wildcats?
Oh man, I hopefully I can instill more. You know what I mean? But obviously a great coach. But I think for him, the one thing that made him special was the way he instilled discipline. And I think discipline always wins. On the field. And there's a lot of things that you can't control in the field. Whether it be what the other team does, what offense they run, what defense they run. Even the officials. Are going to see things differently at times, but your discipline you have control of, and I feel like there's not too many factors out there that you do have control of, but controlling the things you can is important, and I think that discipline thing is key.
you have inherited a pretty good cupboard of ingredients. If you were a cook, you've got everything for a 5-star meal this season. So when you take the reins, taking over from head coach Anthony Rose, and you look at the returning roster of players, Eli Ryder, Josh Smith, Isaac Dolman, Justin Bardo, Willie Travis, Jack DeLuca, the list goes on and on. You got to check yourself at the door, right? Like this is such a good, talented roster of players, but yet you still have to just go out and win the week. You can't think 10-0 until you can think 1-0.
Yeah, first and foremost, I think anytime a new coach comes in and has a team, and if they're successful, I think some of that credit does go to the previous coach. I mean, I think Coach Rose brought this program from a very down place and built it up and passed it off, and it's in a good spot. And I think that's what good coaches do. And they don't leave when the cupboards are bare. They leave when things are good. So that being said, I think in high school sports, I don't care who you are, you have to have talent. And we definitely have that now. Hopefully, we can find a good enough coach to take that talent and do some good things with it. So, but the kids are talented. When you're dealing with 15, 16, 17-year-old kids on a Friday night, you never know what you're going to get from play to play. And so hopefully we can cut down on mistakes and win the turnover battle. I think early in the season, turnovers are big, and so take care of ourselves. And I think whoever makes the least amount of mistakes usually comes out at the beginning of the year as the team that's going to win. So.
Taking a look back at last week, the scrimmage against Cedar Crest, the ones weren't on the field all that long, a scrimmage that lasted 2+ hours, but we saw a pretty solid run game. What do you think about what you saw from your offensive line last week?
So I thought the scrimmage in general, I think the most important part is we left there healthy. We had one injury to a young man as a defensive back, but for the most part we did come out of there healthy, and that was the goal one for us, was to come out of there with our health, and we did that. And then, for the scrimmage, I felt like I was really impressed with our twos, and I think establishing some depth is going to be key this year. And those guys showed me something on Saturday. I think our offensive line is progressing, and I think when you're talking an offensive line, you're talking 5 different pieces, right? And they all have to work together and in unison. And throughout camp, we've been plugging guys in different spots, and they're learning the different positions, and now we're starting to settle, and get our linemen in there and run where they're going to be. And so I think they're much improved, and we have a great line coach and David Payne, and I think they're much improved. But the scrimmage Saturday, I thought it was good. I thought it was good that we made some mistakes, enough to come back and get on them and correct at practice here this week. But enough bright spots to say, hey, we're at least moving in the right direction.
What did you see on the defensive side of the ball that made you happy, and what did you see that maybe you thought we need to work on during the week?
No, it's a good question. I think defensively, for the most part, we did fine. A couple times where maybe they had a big play or two, we were maybe misaligned. And I think on defense, it starts with your alignment, right? You know where you're aligned, know your assignment, and play football and run to the ball. I thought we played physical on Saturday. I thought we ran to the ball well, but just a couple times we were misaligned and things, and maybe wrong drops or whatever in our coverages. But we cleaned a little bit of that up today, and we're going to keep working on that this week.
Well, it's been beautiful weather all this week leading up to Carlisle, and we're going to talk about that Carlisle Thundering Herd matchup coming up after the break. It's Coach's Corner presented by the Wildcat Foundation. We'll be right back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville, or call 717-360-8249.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
Grocery outlet, bargain market. Grass-fed at this price? Is this for real?
Believe it. I'm the real deal.
I mean, this is unbelievable.
I bet you'd like a picture, huh?
That's a great idea.
Fantastic.
Yeah. No. just us.
Grocery outlet, bargain market.
You think I'm amazing, right?
Not exactly.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Craig was in the Rockies and had to cut his ski trip short because he was having severe knee pain.
Lauren came in, she was really discouraged. She had tried 3 months of therapy, nothing was working. She really wanted to get back to volleyball.
We found that he had severe arthritis in both knees and his hip.
She needed shoulder arthroscopy with slap and posterior labral repair.
Simultaneous bilateral total knee replacements.
6 months of recovery and Lauren's back, happy as ever.
3 months after his final surgery, Craig sent us pictures of him skiing the Rocky Mountains. And that's what makes our job here at OSS Health so fulfilling.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
Inventory levels are back at the Bobby Rahal Auto Group, where honesty, selection, and great prices meet. We never priced vehicles over MSRP and never will. Come visit us today and drive away with your dream car at a great value. Bobby Rahal Automotive Group, your trusted destination for the best vehicles and exceptional service. Online at BobbyRahal.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management are proud supporters of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When you're faced with tough business, personal, and financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. They specialize in retirement planning and complex financial situations as their team helps you define and attain your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you. Advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call today. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Coach's Corner continues on GoMechanicsburg.com, now on YouTube at GoMechanicsburg. Tonight's broadcast presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, and of course Coach's Corner presented by our friends at the Wildcat Foundation. Head coach Dave Heckert, you come in taking over from Anthony Rose, who was with us for 6 years, 2 playoff appearances, 2019 and 2020, and certainly you have to be looking to get the Wildcats back to the postseason in your rookie campaign, right?
That's the hope, I think. I think first and foremost, just win game one, right, and ground play game one, and we'll go from there. But this group has lofty goals, and a lot of guys in this team played on the district championship basketball team. A lot of guys played on the district championship baseball team. So this group of guys is not used to, or is not immune to winning. They've done a lot of that in their other sports, and we're hoping that can roll over into football this fall. So
let's talk about the Carlisle Thundering Herd, the Week 1 opponent. Brandon Cook in his second year at Carlisle. Last year just 1-9, but unfortunately that one was a season opening win right here at Memorial Park in Johnny Tredrick Field against the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Obviously you're not playing last year's Carlisle Thundering Herd, but history says that Carlisle has owned Mechanicsburg over the last 10 years. So what do you know about Carlisle going into 2024, and what can we expect during tonight's home opener?
Right. No, I know a second-year coach is usually better than a first-year coach, and then you're talking Coach Cook has a year of experience in. I know Carlisle has a really nice line up front. They have some nice size. They have a couple guys, returning from last year. Their one big starter, Nathaniel Carruthers is a nice lineman, and they have a really nice running back. So, we're going to have to come in Friday night, and we're going to have to play a good, sound football game, to beat Carlisle. And they're obviously a 6A school, and I can tell you they're not scared of Mechanicsburg.
When we see Mechanicsburg on the field, whether you're on offense or on defense first, clearly you want to set the tone. But this offense put up nearly 3,000 yards, if not more than 3,000 last year in a 5-5 season. So are we going to be passing the ball to the likes of Jack DeLuca and Josh Smith and Isaac Dolman, or is it going to be a heavy dose of running with Dolman leading the way out of the backfield?
So I feel like you can't go away from your weapons, and you have to be able to get the ball in those guys' hands. I thought our offensive coordinator last year, Frank Rubinek, did a really nice job and hit a nice stride kind of mid-season. And calling offense is a tough thing to do. And it's easy to sit at home and watch TV and complain about the calls that are made or not made. But when you actually have that playbook in your hand and you're calling plays, that's a tough thing. And with experience, comes improvement. And like I said, Frank hit a nice stride last year mid-season. As far as passing and running, we're obviously going to get the ball into our playmakers' hands, but let's be honest. Championship teams are able to run the football, and I feel like that's something that we want to establish as far as a run game and just culturally, a team that is able to run the ball is usually a physical team and able to grind things out a little bit. So to answer your question, we're going to get the ball in our weapons' hands, but hopefully have the ability to move the ball on the ground too.
Defense is also in championships, and you have Willie Travis, you have Colin Stair, you have Justin Bardo, you have Josh Smith on the defensive side of the ball. There's a handful of other young men back there, 7 others
right.
To be exact, but those 4 statistical leaders, top to bottom, that are going to be anchoring your defense, and Colin Stair's just a junior. I swear the kid gets bigger by the day. What can you say about your defensive leaders?
So, those guys are again, leaders on both sides of the ball, every guy you named, and all those guys are just football players. So, hopefully, they can produce and on offense, and then hopefully that rolls over to defense. And, I think anytime you have experience, we have a lot of guys out there that played a lot of varsity football games, and anytime you have experience, that usually works out pretty well for you. But again, when you're dealing with kids and high school kids, you never know what you're going to get week to week. So.
Well, speaking of week to week, obviously a standard Friday night this week against Carlisle, but then next week a Thursday night game, and we'll touch on that and the routine and how you stay in it when we talk during next week's Coach's Corner. But a couple of new faces, so to speak, with schools on the schedule this year. When you look at that schedule top to bottom, you welcome back Lower Dauphin as a conference opponent.
Yep.
For the first time, we play Mifflin County in football. We say goodbye to Greencastle. We say goodbye to East Pennsboro. So what are your thoughts on this new revamped conference schedule this year?
No, I love it. I like the new conference realignments. I think they make sense. I think in our division this year, you're going to see a lot of parity. I know Lower Dauphin has a really nice group coming back. Adding Hershey, they were in the 5A playoffs last year. Gettysburg has a nice group returning there. And I think Coach Faust at Shippensburg, always does a nice job. And, some pretty tough teams there. But, even we have Palmyra week 2, and then we travel to Mifflin County. Those are going to be dogfights. And, we know that. And, I think those teams are going to pose a different look for us, and, something we're going to have to prepare for and that we're not used to seeing. But I think we'll be all right. So.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck Friday night. And I always end Coach's Corner with this question. Now, the first day of school is coming up Monday, so I can't quite ask how things are going in the classroom, but first day of school is Monday. Are you looking forward to getting back, and what's that first week look like for you?
For me, I like the start of school. Football season starting. It's a great time of year. I'm not looking forward to the practice after the first day of school, because that's usually not a good practice, but as other coaches would be able to tell you. But that being said, I'm always excited for the beginning of the school year, and I'm excited to get things started. And as well as I do, it's going to get started, and before you know, we're going to be in week 5, and that's how time goes. So.
Well, get out and watch the Wildcats. Just one home game in the month of September, so whether you can come to week 2 against Palmyra, whether you're on the way out to the stadium tonight or you get back out with us in October, make sure you check out the Wildcats home or on the road. Look, we love these web streams, Dave, but it's always great to experience a football game in person.
That's right. That's right.
All right, we're going to take a break. Dave Harris will join me in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. We'll be right back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
You've been watching Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Coming up, we'll get you out of the stadium for tonight's game on GoMechanicsburg.com and now on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pin drops, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, True Green Lawn Care on the East Shore in Middletown, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses, and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. You can go to GoMechanicsburg.com right now and click on the live stream tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support, and I encourage you to support them in turn.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. There was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
This is you. And this is us. Hi, we're True Green. We're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. That means we'll give you a pro-level lawn guaranteed. That's a satisfaction guarantee. That's a price match guarantee. That's a guarantee on top of your guarantee. So you can do less of this and more of this.
Walters & Galloway Attorneys at Law is your hometown law firm and devotes a significant part of their practice to estate planning, estate administration, elder law, real estate law, family law, and more. Let their expert team help you sell, purchase, or refinance your home too. Their team can work to prepare your will, trust, power of attorney, or aid in the estate care of a loved one. With 2 convenient Mechanicsburg office locations, you can learn more and make an appointment today by visiting them online at waltersgalloway.com or call 717-697-4700.
Allison and Michael have been in their home for 10 years, and their bathroom really needed an update.
I like doing home projects. Would have definitely taken me longer than we have.
They needed a more convenient option, so they called West Shore.
The design consultant made it really easy.
I left for work with the kids and they showed up. Morning.
Have a nice day at school.
By dinner time, we had our bathroom.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company is Mechanicsburg's newest family and pet-friendly social experience with food and drink options for the community, from the community. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company is just off South Market Street near the all-new Legacy Park. Stop in before, during, or after the game for food crafted from the freshest local ingredients, plus many award-winning drinks made on site. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park, Suite 400, online at wolfbrewingco.com or call 717-590-7917.
It's time for Mechanicsburg High School Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com and now on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube, available on all smart devices. Wildcat Athletics is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, Lawnscapes Inc., Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, Walters and Galloway Attorneys at Law, West Shore Home, the Wildcat Foundation, Wolf Brewing Company, and your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care. Now, let's head out to the stadium and the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth for tonight's game.
With the call, here's the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Garland and Dave Harris.
It is a new era for Wildcat football and Wildcat athletics. Good evening, fans. Thanks for tuning in to GoMechanicsburg.com and now on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. Mike Garland and Dave Harris live from the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. And Dave, not only do we have a new streaming platform with YouTube, we have a brand new football coach in Dave Heckard.
Tell you what, what's really exciting, is new eras bring all kinds of unknowns, and we really don't know what to expect. I heard you talking to pregame, Mike, about, we're looking at run, Dave coming from a Cumberland Valley wing T background, but yet we've got a 2,300-yard quarterback coming back and a 1,000-yard receiver. So a lot of excitement and a lot of mystery to be unveiled here in the next 60 playing minutes.
And Dave Heckard has been the Wildcats wrestling head coach for 2 full seasons, longtime staple in Central Pennsylvania, Cumberland Valley High School graduate, played football at Villanova, and has been a Wildcat assistant football coach for the past few years as well. He takes over for Anthony Rose, who gets to enjoy tonight's game from the bleachers, cheering on his son Max. He, of course, was the head coach of the Wildcats for 6 seasons, 30-30 overall, 0-2 in the postseason. In addition to Coach Heckard, he brings a roster of new assistants plus a solid core of returners with him as well. And we'll talk more about what is fresh about 2024 in just a few moments. And as this broadcast progresses, we want to thank you for tuning in. Nathan Babiak of the Wildcat soccer team will be kicking off tonight for Mechanicsburg. Michael Hakeem back deep for Carlisle. Xavier Campbell as well for head coach Brandon Cook, who's in his 2nd season. Babiak tees it up. And the 2024 high school football season is underway. High, end over end, fielded by Hakeem at the 2. Hakeem across the 15 and hit and stopped inside the 20. That's Wyatt Lear on the tackle. And oh, by the way, he was a wide receiver for this high-powered offense last year.
Yeah, he led the team out, and you look down and you're thinking, who's that lean machine? It was number 53. Looks pretty chiseled from here, 6 foot 180 he's listed at, and he brought it on the first play, so living right up to it.
Taking a look at our officials for tonight's game, the referee is David Spirziri, the umpire Michael Rucker, head linesman James Franklin, line judge Thomas Marpo, and the back judge is Steve Burns. First down and 10 for the Carlisle Thundering Herd as the offense comes on the field. Carlisle with a bit of a uniform change in 2024 as Carter Wilson is under center. Check that, yes, Carter Wilson, sophomore, under center, a run on the first play from scrimmage. And that's Chance Bonner. We've called Chance Bonner's name a lot over the last couple of years. He's a senior for the Thundering Herd. And Carlisle in a hurry-up, no-huddle offense, 3 backs in the backfield. It's a direct snap to Bonner. And Bonner gains 2, maybe 3 yards. It's third down and short for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, they're lined up in a little bit of a, it's not truly a pistol or the old Wildcat, maybe you would call it. Both direct snaps, the quarterback, and then 2 off-back set, running really basically a belly to the right-hand side. Must like the right side of their line a little bit, or at least think they see something on the left side of the Cats' defensive front. But here we are, 3rd and 1.5, first big play of the game.
2 wide receivers, 1 split left, 1 split right, plus a tight end in Jaden Shea. Wilson, hands off, Bonner. Bonner picks up the first down. Pushing towards midfield, Josh Smith coming in from behind and tackles Chance Bonner just short of midfield. But Chance Bonner picks up enough to move the chains. You can take a look at that run one more time, Dave.
Yeah, it's a nice little bit of a counter, right? They went right the first 2 times, so he takes that jab step to the right and then comes back and opens up a nice seam, and it was just Josh Smith and him out there. Unfortunately, after a 20-yard gain, Smitty brings him down and we start over here.
Carter Wilson in the shotgun. 1 wide receiver in the wing, another split left in the form of Bryson Rudolph. Single back in the backfield, first down and 10 for the Thundering Herd. The ball from their own 49-yard line. Single man in motion. They hand off to Chance Bonner. And Bonner makes it to midfield, if that. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, nice play there by Drew Freeland. We talked early on about we got changing coaching staff. We don't necessarily know what to expect on the offensive side completely. Although Frankie Rubinick back as the coordinator, we know we got Jeff Costello back on the defensive side. But what we also know is almost no turnover in players, right? Very few senior contributors on this team last year. So we know we've got the players coming back, and Freeland had a great sophomore season last year in the backfield to drop him quickly, that play.
19 seniors back for the Wildcats in 2024 on their final opening night of their football careers. 2nd down and 9. And the Thundering Herd get the ball off just before the play clock hits 0. Again, it's Chance Bonner. He's been the workhorse early on, and he loses a half a yard. 3rd down and long for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, Coach Eckert, whether he saw something on film previously or whether obviously he's just picking it up here tonight. This team, again, I don't want to sit here and call him one-dimensional in the first half of the first quarter, but they got one guy they want to bust it open, and if he can bust it open, they're going to ride him all night long, and so far, he's the only one to touch the ball, but that's the key. If everyone can flow to number 4, it's going to be an easy night for the Cats if they can stop him, but let's see what Carlisle's going to do to counter off of this on 3rd and 10.
Single back in the backfield, Carter Wilson in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers stacked to the far side right in front of the Carlisle bench. Now a single man in motion in Michael Hakeem. Wilson on the quarterback keeper. That's an interesting play call on 4th down and 10. He gains a yard. 4th down and 9. And the Mechanicsburg defense holds. And we'll wait to see whether the Carlisle punt unit comes on the field or if they're going to make this 4-down territory. And it looks like unless Carter Wilson is the punter, they are going for it on 4th and long.
Well, in this analytics era, right, we got more and more teams going for it on 4th down. This was unheard of, 10 years ago at midfield, 4th and 9. But, looking at the Commonwealth schedule that Carlisle has to play after this, they see this as one of their chances for winning. They're going to pull out all the stops here.
4th and 9, Carter Wilson in the shotgun, shifting to his left. Now it's a direct snap to Chance Bonner, who punts it away, and the ball's going to hit at about the 21-yard line, pop straight up, and take a Mechanicsburg bounce before being downed at the 25. So, Dave, you'll enjoy this. We talk about Coach Heckert and his history in Central Pennsylvania. What you're looking at right there is an All-Star Game football photo from 1995, the East-West All-Star Game, and right there is Coach Heckert, number 44 in the middle. But hey, we can't forget that guy. Who's that at the end? Number 66. That's me right there, Mike Garland, teammates with Dave Heckert way back in the day. But he has long and winding roots here in Central Pennsylvania football.
Yeah, we played that CV team at the end of the 95 season. We were both, I think, 500 missed the playoffs. So only 4 teams made it back then. And we played Dave Heckert at the end of that season in a tight game, actually, Cumberland Valley against Mechanicsburg.
First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Quick hitter to Jack DeLuca. Jack DeLuca up the near side into the second level in the chains move on the first play from scrimmage. Oh, my.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's why we saw that steady diet of run. There's so many playmakers on this Mechanicsburg offense. The Carlisle coaching staff's obviously thinking, we got to shorten this game. We got to run this clock. This is the kind of thing that we're going to see tonight, and not just out of Josh Smith, but we got Drake out there. Obviously, DeLuca with a huge play, running the bubble screen there and finding the seam and good blocks downfield.
First down and 10 for the Cats. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left of Eli Ryder, a single receiver to the right in Josh Smith. Shotgun snap, inside handoff to Isaac Dolman. Dolman cuts left, and he is tackled after a gain of 2 or 3 on the stop for Carlisle, Xavier Campbell. Second down and make it a long 7. And Isaac Dolman nearly lost that handoff from Eli Ryder. That was something that really hurt the Wildcats last year, were exchanges between the center and quarterback and between the quarterback and running back. Some of those RPOs and those shotgun snaps. So early on, the Cats keeping their composure in 2024. Second down and 7. The ball on the 47-yard line. Shotgun snap, 2-step drop. Looking for Josh Smith. Ryder. Now it's playground football as Ryder throws it away. He and Josh Smith were just not on the same page on that play. He was looking for Smith the entire way, but he was covered like a blanket by Xavier Campbell.
Yeah, it was, he threw that. It wasn't meant to be a pump fake. I think he was ready to let it go pretty quickly, and Smitty just couldn't get the separation out there against Campbell, and so he just bought some time. Smart play, got out of the pocket, threw it away, showing his experience as a second-year starter.
3 wide receivers go to the left of Eli Ryder, including Noah Apple, Drake Dawson, Josh Smith on the near side right, Dolman the single back in the backfield. Quick hitter, that pass is short. It was intended for Drake Dawson and bounced to him. Drake Dawson, just a junior, but somebody that contributed mightily last year, catching 23 passes for 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 yards per catch.
Yeah, Drake's a nice target. Coach Heckert said in the pregame comments to you, Mike, or in the coach's corner about being crisp and not making mistakes. That usually helps your first week. And returning quarterback coming up who short arms a ball out there, on what maybe could have been a 4th and short or a first down. Something we'll pay attention to a little bit later on.
4th down and 8, and a quick kick from Eli Ryder. So each team has had a possession. That punt will take a Mechanicsburg bounce and roll towards the 20-yard line where Josh Smith downs it. Change of possession. First down and 10 for the Carlisle Thundering Herd. They have 1 more possession to go. And I've got 1 more clip from that All-Star game, Dave. You got to enjoy this. We talk about Dave Heckert playing both ways. Here he is as a running back taking a handoff. And we're going way back again, 1995.
You still have that TV, Mike, don't you?
I might. Second run there from Coach Heckert. And he went both ways in this game. He's on special teams as well, covering a punt and making a tackle for the West Shore squad. So, again, Coach Heckert, he knows the game of football. It's been part of his life for a very, very long time. First down and 10, Carlisle Thundering Herd. The ball on their own 20. Handoff to Chance Bonner, and Bonner stretches forward to about the 22-yard line. Coming out of the pile for the Wildcats, Drew Freeland.
Yeah, Willie T there at first. Willie Travis there at first contact, although went to his knees and didn't made a little bit of an arm tackle. Slowed things up, but it did need the linebackers to clean that up. And yeah, we're going to see that steady diet. Like I said, I think obviously they're going to run. You think that's their strength. Going to shorten the game, limit the number. If you can take 2 possessions off of Mechanicsburg's game, it's 2 chances that they can't score, right? And we saw last year that they can score with just a little bit of time and with the whole field to go.
2nd down and 9 for the Thundering Herd. Bonner in the gun, just to the side of quarterback Carter Wilson. More of a pistol formation, and delay of game for the Carlisle Thundering Herd. So that'll back them up 5, bringing up a 2nd down and 14. And, big expectations for the Wildcats this year, Dave. They were 5-5 last year, and sports pundits, as those things go locally, are picking the Cats to make the postseason and contend for a Mid-Penn Keystone title. It could be Mechanicsburg, it could be Hershey, and those 2 teams will play each other this year. But there are lofty expectations on the shoulders of the Wildcats in 2024.
Well, they finished with 3 straight wins, and even when they were 2-5, everybody, and I know Coach Rose was frustrated about it, the players were frustrated about it. They shouldn't have been 2-5. They played better than 2-5, but at the same token, they made mistakes that made them 2-5. So the talent is there. They didn't lose much, and if they've learned, if they've grown, and things are tightened up, we're going to be in good shape here.
Another flag on the play, and this is a motion penalty against the Carlisle Thundering Herd. So back-to-back penalties. Took things from 2nd down and 9 to now 2nd down and 19 as the Thundering Herd offense is going in the wrong direction.
Well, something I think I've talked about each of the years we've done this, Mike, is the old days, right? We all talk about the old days. We don't all have video footage of the old days, but we all talk about it. And used to have 3 scrimmages, right? 3 scrimmages, 3 sets of film to break these things down, and now you have 1 scrimmage, and it's game time. And so penalties in week 1, I think, really are a sign of your off-season work, a sign of your mental preparation, and the first 2 go towards Carlisle. We'll see what that holds for Mechanicsburg throughout the night.
2nd down and 19 for the Thundering Herd. Carter Wilson in the gun. Chance Bonner just offset, and it's a running play on 2nd and long. Bonner works towards the outside, and he is flung to the carpet here at Memorial Park in John H. Frederick Field by Drew Freeland.
That's a name you've said a few times tonight so far, Mike.
These young men vying for our 11 Oaks Farms in Newville Player of the Game. We will announce that during our post-game show, so stick around following the conclusion of tonight's broadcast for that announcement, our first ever Player of the Game.
This is our 2nd, 3rd and long for Carlisle. Now last time they were closer to midfield, and now they're backed up really at inside their own 20, technically. So we'll see. We haven't seen a pass from them yet. Bonner's the guy they want to go to. They ran a quarterback bootleg last time, but let's see what they have on the outside, or if they have something schemed over the middle.
Now Carter Wilson, just a sophomore, and he's trying to motion Xavier Campbell into motion. Campbell goes nowhere. Wilson in trouble, running around like people are chasing him, and down he goes. There's a flag coming. Drake Dawson and Colin Stair in on the tackle, but we'll have to wait and see. It's a hold against Carlisle. So one would think that Mechanicsburg would decline this penalty, bringing up 4th down and long as Stair and Drake Dawson converge for the first sack of the season.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, again, we talk about preparation and precision. He's the quarterback signaling to the right receiver to go in motion. He's not going in motion. I don't know if it was supposed to be the left receiver who eventually went in motion, and they really had no scheme. As soon as he took the snap and looked to set up, he started to bail out, and that's a good sign for the Cats here, and they're scrambling to get their personnel on here for the punt.
Chance Bonner is the actual punter as well for the Carlisle Thundering Herd, and he stands in the end zone with his feet on the A of Cats. Bit of a high snap, he pulls it down, and it's a high, short punt. It's going to hit at the 21-yard line and downed not far thereafter. I'm not good with math, especially on short notice, but I can observe things quite well. That punt was short.
It was very short. I'll tell you what, the young man from Carlisle who came up with the ball actually helped us out, because we had a couple linemen in there trying to block, doing their job. They don't know where the ball is. They hear the boot. They don't know where it's gone. And, there was a chance it could have caught a foot or caught an ankle or bounced off a shin, and he saved us by downing the ball there, and now we're set up inside the 25.
Well, and that's where the returners for the Wildcats need to yell Peter or short or whatever, and that's usually the cue to get out of the way. But on 1st down and 10 from the Carlisle 23, I say this is the first opportunity to take a shot at the end zone. Ryder in the gun. It's a reverse again, back to Dolman, far side. He has a convoy of blockers. Isaac Dolman from the 5, touchdown Wildcats!
Well, when you watch this replay, watch number 9, who is on him, and watch, he doesn't even know the ball is thrown behind him for Carlisle. And I'm not picking on the young man. That's how well they executed the play. They did the double reverse, and then when they threw back to where the initial handoff came from, rightfully so, he's looking downfield to go, do I have a pursuit angle? Little does he know the ball's behind him. Very well designed and even better execution.
Who in this stadium didn't think the Wildcats were going to try to score on that first play?
There's a guy over on the other side named Captain Obvious who said, I think it's a good time to go for the end zone, and he was right.
Eli Ryder is the holder. The snap and the extra point kick is up and good. Cameron Minnick, the kicker for the Wildcats. And with that score, we're going to take a break. It's Mechanicsburg 7, Carlisle nothing. Tonight's broadcast presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Wolf Brewing Company is Mechanicsburg's newest family and pet-friendly social experience with food and drink options for the community, from the community. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company is just off South Market Street near the all-new Legacy Park. Stop in before, during, or after the game for food crafted from the freshest local ingredients, plus many award-winning drinks made on site. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park, Suite 400, online at wolfbrewingco.com or call 717-590-7917.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
We are back. The Wildcats leading 7-0 on GoMechanicsburg.com. Now on YouTube at GoMechanicsburg. Nathan Babiak kicking off for the Wildcats. Michael Hakeem, Xavier Campbell back deep. And the kickoff fielded by Michael Hakeem. Hakeem to the 20, 25, has a seam, and he's going to be brought down eventually by the Wildcats near midfield. So Carlisle's best offensive play so far is a kick return, and that is going to be something that Coach Dave Heckert will work on this coming week in practice. You certainly cannot allow for big kick returns. It was something that hurt the Wildcats in previous seasons, kick coverage.
Well, and it's one of the things that, again, I talked about scrimmages, but that's the one thing that no matter how many scrimmages you have, you can't simulate special teams play. You just got to get out here and play week one. And special teams play is always something coming out of that first game. You know, I know when I coached, I was in charge of the kickoff team, and nothing worse than losing the momentum of a big return right after you had a big play. So, they got some things to work on, pinch those lanes and stay in those lanes and take care of business.
First down and 10 for the Carlisle Thundering Herd. The ball on their own 48-yard line. Carter Wilson in the shotgun. Wilson spins, rolls to his left, under pressure from Colin Stair. Tucks and runs out of bounds, and Colin Stair slides into the Wildcat bench. And I would think you credit that as a sack because it is a tackle for loss in the backfield. So that would be the second sack for Colin Stair tonight. Now second down and 14.
Well, you got a sack, and the other thing that was impressive is they had three guys in pursuit, and I just was cringing. You know, this is where sometimes an undisciplined team, you get a little bit of a shoulder to the quarterback or a little bit something extra, and it gets negated with a ticky-tack penalty. That is indeed a penalty, and we'd have to start that conversation already about penalties tonight, Mike, but good discipline by the Cats and not a factor on that play.
Three wide receivers to the right of Carter Wilson, including Xavier Campbell. Chance Bonner in the backfield. 10 seconds on the play clock. Shotgun snap, the pitch to Bonner, and Drake Dawson meets him in the backfield, but a stiff arm from Chance Bonner. There is a flag on the play as the play comes back the other way. Bonner still on his feet, working off a block from Wilson, inside the 5, touchdown Carlisle, but there is a flag, and we'll have to wait for the call. It looks like this one might come back.
I think it's going to be a face mask. I think he tackled him a little bit high, but I hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong.
I've been more wrong than I'm right. If it counts, what a heck of a run by Chance Bonner. And the extra point team is coming on the field.
Yeah.
So that's going to end up being a 56-yard touchdown run for Chance Bonner. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a hold or, as you said, it was a face mask, but Chance Bonner made chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what right there, and a nice job by the sophomore Carter Wilson coming back around, the quarterback leading the way, then blocking for Bonner.
Well, and that's something as a coaching staff you're going to be furious, about. You executed the play. It's not real complex what they're doing right now, right? Getting it to Bonner, and they're not even disguising it very well if they're trying to at all. But the reality is you got to tackle low. You got to make the play. If Drake goes in low, we don't have a face mask. You can't face mask if you're tackling him around the hips. And they went in high, and I don't even think it was an aggressive face mask, and that's why he didn't bring him down, because he barely had it. But nonetheless, you got to tackle low.
Extra point blocked by Josh Smith. So the Cats rebound to some extent to salvage what was a challenging play there. You give up the big kickoff return and then going the distance on the touchdown run. 7-6, the Wildcats lead. Back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Back at the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, and you, and Carlisle on the board by way of a Chance Bonner 56-yard touchdown run. 7-6. The extra point was blocked by Josh Smith.
Yeah, they had him bottled up. It wasn't just Drake Dawson who was there. They had a couple other guys at the point of attack. And I think, some guys, I don't want to say let down because they've played very well tonight, but they thought, okay, we got him. That's that. And the reality is everybody was kind of, no one's playing contain at that point on a run to the right-hand side. No one's worried about contain on the left, especially when you think you've got him cornered in the backfield. And that's something that, again, you got to stay at home and you got to finish the play.
So the Wildcats will be on the receiving end of this kick, now coming from the 45 because the penalty is assessed on the kickoff. And that one will be a touchback, so 1st down and 10. I've always wondered why pretty much at any level a good kicker is going to kick a touchback, so you end up getting a free penalty. Why not impose the penalty on the first play from scrimmage, the first offensive play thereafter?
Well, yeah, fair question, and there's I don't know what the reasons are why the rule makers did that, but I'll tell you what, if I'm Carlisle, I also don't have to worry about Josh Smith taking it back to the house and negating my touchdown, right? So
fair.
When you look at him back there, you're going, we'll take the touchback, and we'll see what you can do out here on the field.
Now, in the Canadian League, that would be a single point for Carlisle, and Mechanicsburg would get the football. The Toronto Argonauts just won a game the other night. Game was tied. They missed the field goal, but because a touchback is a single point, they still won the game.
Holy, every little bit matters.
It's a little weird watching a kicker celebrate after missing a field goal.
Yeah.
Isaac Dolman on the carry. Dolman on the 30. And what about that poise? You could see him switch the ball into his outside hand. I don't know that he expected to break through like he did, and Josh Smith was certainly surprised to find Isaac Dolman right there, as that play is good for a Wildcat first down, 19-yard gain.
Well, what's nice about that is Isaac Dolman played really hard last year, had some nice plays last year, but didn't always get the results for it. He didn't always they had a young line, they had some sophomores who came into their own over the course of the season, but we're seeing it tonight, and that's some daylight that he didn't have too often last season.
Eli Ryder tried for the home run ball with Josh Smith and just overthrew him. Michael Hakeem was the defender who had been beaten on the play. And look, those two hooked up a bunch last year. Josh Smith caught 72 balls in 2023 for 1,022 yards, 16 touchdowns, a long of 90. He can catch and he can run.
Yeah, so something I was talking to you a little bit about before the game. Is there another level for Josh Smith? And yet the reality is he's at a pretty high level right now, and it'll just be exciting to see what he can do this senior season.
And a whistle, timeout Carlisle. With that timeout, we'll step out. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Allison and Michael have been in their home for 10 years, and their bathroom really needed an update.
I like doing home projects. Would have definitely taken me longer than we have.
They needed a more convenient option, so they called West Shore.
The design consultant made it really easy.
I left for work with the kids and they showed up. Morning.
Have a nice day at school.
By dinner time, we had our bathroom.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Timeout, Thundering Herd, their first charge timeout, and it's an opportunity for them to slow the pace down as well. Yes, it's a 1-point ball game, but this really has been all Mechanicsburg from the opening kickoff.
There's no doubt about that, right? I don't even know that. I mean, Mechanicsburg's run, I think, 2 formations, and if not, just one, right? The trips left spread, and they've been able to do so many different things out of it, running the ball, throwing the ball, a little trickery in there. So they've got so much more up their sleeve, right? I think we've seen what we're going to see from Carlisle, and they're going to ride it as long as they can.
5 wide receivers for the Wildcats, empty backfield, 3 to the left of Eli Ryder, 2 to the right. Jack DeLuca goes in motion. Eli Ryder on the quarterback keeper right up the middle. Eli Ryder works off a screen from the umpire, moves the chains for a first down into plus territory. First down and 10 for the Wildcats from the Carlisle 45.
Yeah, nice play there. Again, I just got done saying I think we've seen one formation. So this time they go with the no backs look. Obviously, Coach Rubinick or Coach Eckert, somebody's seeing something, or the eyes up in the sky in the box for the coaching staff, and they're going, hey, spread it out, watch them clear out that middle, bring some motion across, and you're going to have a seam right there. They had it. They took advantage of it. So again, you got to execute, right? You got to get to the end zone. We'll see if that happens here. But right now, the Wildcats seem to know what they're going to get, and it's a matter of just taking care of what they need to do to get to the end zone.
Isaac Dolman sets up sidecar left of Eli Ryder. Ryder 3-step drop, scans the field down the middle. Drake Dawson, and the pass was behind him. Xavier Campbell on the coverage, incomplete. Second down and 10.
Yeah, it's tempting here. They're playing basically man, although not a lot of press technique, or maybe they're playing quarters, but it basically falls into man, and so they taking their shots down the seam. Maybe what they can do here a little bit down the line is hitch it up and do a hitch and go on the outside to Smitty and do a few other things like that to maybe create that separation. We saw Drake Dawson make some really nice catches over the middle like that, so we're going to see that a steady diet of that this year, I think, as well.
Dolman again, sidecar right this time around. 4 wide receivers, 2 to either side of Ryder. 8 seconds on the play clock. Inside handoff to Isaac Dolman. There's a flag coming in. I think that's going to be a hold on the Wildcats, which will bring this first down run of 12 back. And Jimmy Dwyer, the center, was caught up with one of the defenders for the Carlisle Thundering Herd. And the homecoming dance isn't until the second week in October, but there was some early dancing here in week 1.
Yeah, I didn't catch the front end of it, and I don't know if the White Hat caught the front end of it. Sometimes when you bury the guy, you look over, and oftentimes you can draw that flag. I didn't see what he did, but you're right. There was a pile there made, and more times than not, that goes against you as an offensive lineman. Out in the open, anyway, I should say.
And usually that lineman standing up with his hands up looking at the officials and saying, "What, me?" It usually was them. It also carries over to basketball when there's a foul and the guy looks over and says, "What, me?"
It does.
Yes, you. Couple of new opponents on the Wildcats schedule in 2024. Mifflin County, Palmyra, Hershey. Cedar Cliff now a conference foe as the Cats have transitioned back into Mid-Penn Keystone. It's an option pitch. Isaac Dolman coming out of the backfield, working off a block from Noah Apple. Gets back about half that penalty yardage.
So that's the first time we see 2 backs in the backfield, and they do a nice fake to Dom Baker, which I thought did draw the defense in a little bit. Pulls that out and pops it out to Dolman, and a nice little play to pick up some of that back, and makes it, I think, with this offense, a reasonable 3rd and 15, especially when you're sitting at the midfield stripe.
3rd down, 15 yards to go. Noah Apple, Jack DeLuca, Drake Dawson to the left of Eli Ryder. Josh Smith on the right with his left and right feet planted firmly on the 5 of the 5-0 midfield stripe. Dwyer shotgun snap. Ryder rolling to his left, lobs to Drake Dawson, and Dawson picks up about 7 of the needed 15, making it 4th and manageable for the Wildcats.
Well, that's it. You're at your 41-yard line. We talked a little bit about the analytics error, and it's not that it's all about just doing the measuring, but I think you got more and more teams going, hey, when we're outside our 40-yard line, it's very likely 4-down territory, especially if we've got some momentum, especially if we're moving the ball. The interesting thing there, too, able to pick up, they are playing a little bit of an umbrella kind of double coverage on Josh Smith. And so they might start to work to get him the ball on some screens. They might work to get him somewhere across the middle. It looks like they're gonna roll up tight on him underneath and keep somebody covered over deep, over top. So it's going to be really hard for him for a one-and-done deep ball.
Mechanicsburg's second 4th down play of the night. They punted on the first 4th down play. Ryder, pass complete. Jack DeLuca moves the chains. And with at least mom and big brother Sam in attendance, his sister here as well. DeLuca with his first reception of the season, and the chains move. 1st down and 10 Wildcats.
So 2 things there. I think, again, there's so much attention being paid to Josh Smith. And so that time, 2, who's been on him all night long, Campbell, sat deep on that. And Josh ran a little bit of an in, cleared that safety, which allowed DeLuca to come free. I had DeLuca for the first screen catch, too, by the way, Mike, just so you know. It was a nice big play. I could be wrong, but...
You're probably not. 1st down and 10. I have that goldfish memory thing going. Drake Dawson leads the blocking path for Isaac Dolman, but another flag on the far side of the field.
Yeah, I think you got something at the point of attack, maybe.
I think it's possible that Drake Dawson turned upfield.
Yeah, a little too soon there. A little too soon.
Because about the time he turned into the line of scrimmage, that flag came.
Yeah, it came without any contact. So, yeah, I think you're right on that, Mike.
That'll back the Cats up 5 yards. So I referenced the fresh opponents on the Wildcat schedule. We say goodbye to East Pennsboro, Greencastle, and Susquehanna Township. Lower Dauphin, who has been a scrimmage partner for the last couple of years, is now a regular season foe. And I guess we have to look forward to now just one trip to Hershey Park Stadium next year. Been some changes over in Derry Township with the Herco Company. I think Hershey is immediately going to play home games on their campus. Lower Dauphin maybe one more year at the stadium, but we looked at the schedule saying, okay, Lower Dauphin and Hershey come to town this year. We get to go to the stadium next year. Things have changed a little bit.
Well, the stadium's a nice destination in terms of playoff, but it's a very cavernous setting. It's nothing like this on a Friday night, in my opinion.
1st down and 15. Jack DeLuca with second, third catch of the game. Stiff arm at the 25, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jack DeLuca. 33 yards out.
The beautiful thing there is Josh Smith. He gets the point of attack block, and then watch him come down the field. This is not, you talk about a star player. Sometimes they're a prima donna. Hey, give me the ball, give me the touches, give me the touchdown. Josh Smith makes 2 blocks on that play. One that springs for the reception. The second springs for the touchdown.
The second touchdown pass of the night for Eli Ryder. And the Cats had to earn this one a little bit more than that first one.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they're up to it. Coaching staff doing a great job. And they're going to see a lot of this year. And Josh Smith's going to get his share of the ball. Because there's enough talent here. There's enough targets out here. You can't take them all away. But right now, they're putting some other things on film for some people to think about. And just when you go to sleep, then on Josh Smith, he's going to make a big play.
Tanner Minnick with the extra point, up and good. 2:29 remaining in the first quarter. It's Mechanicsburg 14, Carlisle 6. We'll be right back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Walters & Galloway Attorneys at Law is your hometown law firm and devotes a significant part of their practice to estate planning, estate administration, elder law, real estate law, family law, and more. Let their expert team help you sell, purchase, or refinance your home too. Their team can work to prepare your will, trust, power of attorney, or aid in the estate care of a loved one. With 2 convenient Mechanicsburg office locations, you can learn more and make an appointment today by visiting them online at waltersgalloway.com or call 717-697-4700.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
14-6 the score following the 33-yard pitch and catch. Eli Ryder to Jack DeLuca. Babiak's kick, end over end, fielded by Michael Hakeem. He had a big return the last time around, and he's got a seam on the far side one more time. And he is going to be corralled at the 44-yard line. Tackle for the Cats. Ryan Foose.
always nice to see a sophomore out there first earning the opportunity, right? Sophomores don't get themselves on special teams very easily. They got to get the work done, and then earning your keep, right? And you figure if there was already a big return out there, and I have to be honest, I don't know if he was the guy who was out there with the big return to that side last time. But he made the play this time. So either it was some quick coaching or maybe there was an adjustment. I'm not sure. But a really nice play from a young kid on that side.
First down and 10 for the Thundering Herd. They have the ball on their own 44-yard line. Check that 34-yard line. Wilson handing to Bonner. Bonner met in the backfield. First contact, Wyatt Lear. But Bonner bounces off of Lear, out of bounds near the 40. Willie Travis pushing him out of play. I'll tell you what, I saw Willie Travis in June at Jubilee Day. ROTC's usually there, and they had a pull-up deal there. And he walked over, and he was just ripping pull-up after pull-up.
He's a stud of a young man. He's got some. I mean, I'm sure he worked hard this summer with Coach Eckert and what they were doing in the weight room. But he's been blessed with some natural strength, and it's great to see him using it.
Second down and 5. Bonner shrugs off Colin's stare. Check that not stare. That was Aiden Reed.
Well, they're doing a nice job getting in there. They're just tackling a little high right now, and Bonner, he's listed at 5'11", 210. I believe he's every bit of 210, and there's not a lot of waste on that 210. He's a big, strong man, young man, and you gotta come in low, hold on, and let somebody else clean up instead of coming in high and hoping you're gonna get him. You're just not gonna wrestle that guy to the ground.
Justin Bardo comes to the sideline, and the first time we've said his name all night is saying Justin Bardo comes to the sideline. So he's been held in check this evening. So far, anyway. Third down and 6, 50 seconds remaining in this first quarter, 14-6 Wildcats. And a flag, another delay of game, second time tonight.
Yeah, 2 delays and a false start, and of course there was a declined hold. So yeah, just some things there that I don't want to call them typical first week because not everybody's doing them, but they are the kind of things you tend to see more of first week. Again, I don't think this is a team that shows. At least I haven't seen it in the first quarter here. The ability to score quickly in a hurry throughout the night unless Bonner's going to break tackles all night, right? So they got to be careful here not to get themselves down by 2 or more than 2 scores. If they do, that really takes them out of their game a little bit, and they're not equipped to play that kind of game. So they've got to be looking to move the sticks here on 3rd and 11.
Wilson again in the shotgun. Bonner in the backfield. 3 seconds of the play clock. Thought about a quarterback draw, finally makes it through, and Willie Travis is there to tackle him at the line of scrimmage. And this may be the final play of the quarter for the Carlisle Thundering Herd. The game clock is down to 28 seconds. The play clock is at 37, so they definitely don't need to run a play if they don't want to.
Well, they haven't set the ball just yet, so now, I think, again, Carlisle, will take their time. I don't know if they're really going to think about what they're going to do. I don't think you want to think about giving Mechanicsburg back the ball inside the 45-yard line. So, do you line up and do the quick kick? We've seen that happen. I think it was Gettysburg last year. Not that they did a lot of it because they scored some points on us, but they quick kicked and kept us guessing all night long.
That's the end of the first quarter. It's Mechanicsburg 14, Carlisle 6. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. We'll be back in just a moment on GoMechanicsburg.com.
This is you. And this is us. Hi, we're True Green. We're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. That means we'll give you a pro-level lawn guaranteed. That's a satisfaction guarantee. That's a price match guarantee. That's a guarantee on top of your guarantee. So you can do less of this and more of this.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
From the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, Mike Carlin and Dave Harris. It's a beautiful night under the Friday night lights at Memorial Park and John H. Frederick Field. The first of 2 home games here in the month of August. And a quick programming note, next week's game, week 2 against Palmyra, is Thursday night. So if you're coming out to the stadium Thursday night, if you show up Friday, it's going to be awkward and lonely. So come on out Thursday night for a kickoff against Palmyra, as Carlisle will have the ball 4th down and 11 to start the 4th quarter. And they line up in the shotgun formation, but we'll see if Wilson doesn't shift to his right to allow for that quick kick from Bonner. He shifts to the left instead. Josh Smith is back deep, and Bonner boots it over Josh Smith's head, takes a Carlisle bounce inside the 25 and down at the 24 by Bryson Rudolph. So it's 1st down and 10 for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats' first play of the second quarter.
Yeah, and that next week to Palmyra, that'll be the sign of the Cats returning to the Keystone Division for the first time in 4 seasons. They've been down in the Colonial the last 4. Mid-Penn does a 2-year rotation, so they did 2 rotations down there. But a combination of things, including growth enrollment and the Mid-Penn shrinking down, I think, to 4 divisions. They've created some larger divisions, so we've got a 10-team division, 9 league games, and we're going to play some foes that we played for a lot of years, but haven't played as much lately, Palmyra being one of them.
And Mifflin County on the schedule. We go there, I believe, week 3. So that will be a nice long drive north towards State College. And if you want to make a weekend of it, I believe Penn State plays Bowling Green the next day. So you can watch the Wildcats on Friday night and then traverse your way to Happy Valley for what should be a Penn State victory. Isaac Dolman takes the pitch around the far right side. Isaac Dolman showing his speed, out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And a nice run by Dolman to move the chains.
Yeah, he gets the corner there. Nice block at the point of attack out there. And I think again, as we talked, Dolman had some hard yardage last year. Just it didn't come easy. There wasn't a lot of daylight. And it's nice to see him stick with it, and B, the team to stick with him, right? And everybody kind of going, yeah, let's just keep going. Let's keep progressing. He ran hard last year. He obviously had some decent stats in the end, but he's got some daylight, and he's making it pay off tonight.
Carlisle's Josh Smith with the tackle. Wyatt Lear goes in motion, an extra blocker out of the backfield, and Isaac Dolman takes the handoff. Dolman tackled near midfield by Xavier Campbell. And I mentioned Lear was a wide receiver last year, and you can see him in the backfield, one of the lead blockers. He and Brady Spots making room for Isaac Dolman to move the chains one more time.
Well, and I'll tell you what's nice about that, again, we've talked a little bit about their passing attack. We've talked about the skill weapons that they have, but there's so many different things that they can do. And again, the fact that if you're watching film, you're going, hold on, in the first quarter, we didn't see this formation. If you're Carlisle, you're going, hey, we didn't see this formation. They may not have even seen it last week on the scrimmage tape.
Pitch one more time. Lear and Spots. And now some pushing and shoving with Wyatt Lear, along with Davion Baker. Xavier Campbell with the tackle for the Carlisle Thundering Herd. And seeing Eli Ryder under center is not something we're accustomed to seeing. He took a lot of snaps out of the shotgun last year and has primarily taken snaps out of the shotgun tonight.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's interesting to see. And when you execute like they did, you're not playing from behind. You're not trying to say, can we see if something works? And that's kind of how things felt a little bit last year and even the year or two before that. Some talent, but Frank has stayed true to what he wants to do. They believe in the players. They've stuck with the players, and they're executing nicely tonight.
Dolman into the second level, looking for the end zone, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Isaac Dolman, 49 yards, his second score of the night, and the Cats are up 20-6.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was a defensive back from Carlisle who read the play nicely, shot up in there, and it was all or nothing. And he missed on Dolman, and Dolman just stayed right in the crease, followed the blocks. There were nice blocks at the point of attack, got to the second level, and then he was off to the races.
Isaac Dolman showing speed, and I think back to 3 years ago, we were at West Shore Stadium, and I don't remember if it was Redland or Cedar Cliff, but I posed the almighty question, who is Isaac Dolman?
Yeah, he had a nice game that night, a couple screen passes, a couple runs, but he was a young kid, and you thought, okay, let's see what happens here. And this is a nice big night for him, and we got a lot of football left, but it's exciting to see him have the success.
Extra point kick is no good for Minnick. 10:56 remaining in the first half. It's Mechanicsburg 20, Carlisle 6. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Welcome back to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Mike Garland, Dave Harris, and you. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. And right now it's also being powered by your local drugstore's pharmacy. As I'm battling a sore throat, lost voice, I've got cough syrup, cough drops, hot tea, water, Chick-fil-A sandwiches, everything you could possibly want for a successful broadcast.
Well, I tried the Chick-fil-A sandwich, Mike, and that was pretty good. Thanks for working that out.
Chick-fil-A, the official pregame meal provider of GoMechanicsburg.com. Babiak's kick, end over end, fielded by Xavier Campbell at about the 5, and Campbell is met near the 28-yard line. J.J. Gould with the tackle. J.J. Gould listed as number 89 on the original roster that we were sent, so we'll have to double-check that, but we'll make the augmentation for the evening. Public address announcer Ryan Hartman knew who he was, so I think it's a me problem.
Yeah, he might have a better inside scoop than you have, I suppose. I don't know.
Did you know he taped rosters to the window for you up there?
I see those. I actually have not looked up yet. Have you looked up at those yet? I better start doing that.
No, I have mine down here.
You have yours. Well, I do too, but I'll start to do that. Maybe
clearly not accurate, but I have it. Wilson in a modified shotgun. It's a direct snap to Bonner. And Bonner gains a yard, maybe 2.
All right.
Justin Bardo in on the stop.
You know, Mike, I poked fun at you and made some reference to Captain Obvious earlier. I'm going to go out on a limb as Captain Obvious here, and I think this is maybe the drive of the game for Carlisle. If this is going to be a game, something's going to need to happen here. I think if they can't get something going here and would happen to find themselves down somehow 3 scores going into half, I'm not sure that there's much they're going to be able to do about it in the second half.
The offense has seemed very one-dimensional so far as well through the first quarter plus. Wilson in the gun. Single man in motion, that's Josh Smith. Bonner with the carry. Gains 2, maybe 3 yards. Leo Fasci in on the stop.
Well, at this point, I got the quarterback Wilson for getting sacked twice, 2 runs that were 0 and 1 yard. So whether they were designed or forced out, I don't believe he's officially got a pass attempt off yet, and the rest is all Bonner. So yeah, that's where we're at right now.
And I would say unofficially, through at least a quarter plus, our 11 Oaks Farms player of the game is Isaac Dolman.
Yeah, he's looked so good. He's looked good, not just on the touchdown run. By the way, a touchdown run, which was 49 yards, was his 5th run of 10 or more yards in the game.
He had a long of 78 last year. That was his career long from a running standpoint. Check that. I'll update that stat in just a moment as Michael Hakeem is dropped in the backfield. Jack DeLuca, Drake Dawson in the area. 78 was Isaac Dolman's reception long last year. His career long prior to tonight was 42, so that touchdown run, a new career long for Isaac Dolman.
Well, that's it. I think, again, I'll look at it again at the next break, but I think he might have over 100 yards here as we're only in the first half of the second quarter. There was a case where we saw Carlisle now try to do something a little bit different, and I think that was Rudolph came in motion on that sweep there and dropped for a 5-yard loss. So, we're not ridiculing when we say they're one-dimensional. Sometimes that's what you got. And you try to do a few things off of it to keep the defense honest. Maybe you can spring something, but what they're trying to do off of it is really honestly much less successful than than just giving it to Bonner every time. But you can't just keep giving it to the kid every time. This time they got a no-backs with him out wide. It'll be interesting to see what this play call leads into.
Timeout called by Carlisle. With that timeout, we'll step out as well. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. We'll be right back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Back at Memorial Park, John H. Frederick Field, 20-6, the Wildcats lead. Isaac Dolman with 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. Jack DeLuca with a receiving touchdown as well. And the Carlisle Thundering Herd, Chance Bonner with a 56-yard touchdown run. So the touchdowns have been rather electric and exciting for both teams tonight, as Bonner stands in punt formation on 4th and 11 with Josh Smith standing back at his own 40. There's going to be a flag as that punt is straight up in the air, and Josh Smith tries to field it, and that's a mistake by Josh Smith, but I think he's going to be saved by that flag. That ball took a high bounce. He tried to grab it on the run. It went off of his hands. And Carlisle is saying they have it, but again, depending on that flag, could be a moot point.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, hindsight's 20/20. I don't think Smitty did a bad thing. It was a nice high bounce. He must have just taken his eyes off it. But the reality is he did call off. The guys knew it was a shank. They started to peel away. So they were running very little risk of the ball nicking them as it bounced around. And sometimes it's a really headsy play, smart play, that what Smitty was trying to do. But
get the official call from David Spizzeri here. So the penalty is against Carlisle, and we'll replay 4th down. So Mechanicsburg dodges a bullet there. And we know Josh Smith has the ups. He can jump. So I can only imagine that he did take his eyes off of it, because there's not a ball that close to the tip of his fingers that he's going to miss.
No, he's got nice hands. It's just you take your eye off it, footballs take funny hops, right? And
they're not round.
They're not round. And he's trying to make something happen out of nothing, right? And that's respectable. And those are the kind of things you do need when you're, and that'll be an interesting thing to see what the Cats can do. Can they learn to play with a lead? Right, and I don't mean that to be funny, but you got to take some chances when you're down a score or two. And it's hard to think of games last year in the first half where we weren't still trying to figure out, hey, are we, even when we had that 3-game win streak, some of those came down to the wire. They came down to the fourth quarter. So you don't have to take as many chances when you know you can score in your base offense as much as they can.
Bonner one more time. This punt a little bit better than the last. It's going to hit at the 45 and take a Mechanicsburg bounce. Down by Michael Hakeem. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with the Operation Wildcat crew, talking about Project Back to School. And speaking of back to school, whether you want to believe it or not, we are back to school on Monday in the Mechanicsburg School District. A shorter week, 4 days this coming week, with the Labor Day next weekend. But back to school on Monday. And I know, Dave, over the last year or so, your role has changed, but you've got to be looking forward to day one.
Yeah. The change in my role is obviously a number of things, but largely tied to construction, and we're just wrapping up a phase. We've renovated 2 wings, our cafeteria just coming all back online for Monday morning, and renovating still the rest of the middle of the building, library, auditorium, etc., throughout the fall semester. So definitely a rush this week to get us ready, and we're ready for Monday morning.
Wildcats are going to be called for a delay of game. Okay, so the cafeteria is ready. Is Sapphire ready?
The cafeteria is ready. Sapphire's ready. I spent a lot of time in there today doing room conflicts and making sure things are good to go. So, no, we're ready to roll.
That's exciting. Always exciting to get back to day one. And I would say every kid, regardless of their feelings on school overall, every kid looks forward to at least the first day, maybe the first week. It's that that October, November, January, February grind that I think they struggle with. But back to school is always an exciting time.
Yeah, there's a certain element in constancy and consistency and support. I think almost all kids like some element of school. Maybe it's not every day, and maybe it's not all day every day. But I think that's very much the case.
First down and 15, and another flag. We have this new fancy schmancy scoreboard graphic at the bottom of the screen. It has a flag button, and the flag thing has been stuck up there, but I guess it was just the fortune telling what was about to happen as the Wildcats commit another penalty. And much like Carlisle did in the first quarter, the Wildcats going backwards here on this drive. Yeah, and head coach Dave Heckert is going to call a timeout and go out and talk with his young men about this.
Yeah, just a little lack of discipline, a little lack of focus. I don't know if things are coming too easy to them, but at some point, guys, settle down. We got them right where we want them, but it's 2 scores, right? We got to do a little more scoring if we think this is going to be a W.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Following the Wildcat timeout, it'll be first down and 20. So on the plus side, it's first down. On the negative side, it's 20 to go with 7:57 remaining in the first half.
Well, looking at the field position, again, we talk about 4-down territory, right? If you can break off some chunk yardage here, you're going to, even with a 4th and 7 or 8, you're going to be inside their 45. So certainly probably 4-down territory as you come out looking at your play script.
Josh Smith goes in motion, reverses back. Ryder was looking for him out of the backfield. Now a screen pass to Isaac Dolman. Dolman in open space. Lunges forward and picks up 2, maybe 3 yards. Carlisle did a nice job reading that screen, staying home, and keeping the Wildcats from picking up something big.
Yeah, nice play call there by Frank Rubinick. Probably setting something up. Did you notice the fake was to Josh Smith out here in the flank? They're going to have to find some creative ways to get the ball in Josh's hands close to the line of scrimmage because of what Carlisle's trying to do to him downfield defensively. So, even though it's only a 3-yard gain, which it had the potential for more, probably something they can work off of that coming back a little later on in the game.
Second down and 18, so just a gain of 2 for Isaac Dolman. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left of Eli Ryder, 1 to the right. Dolman, the single back in the backfield. Eli Ryder on the quarterback keeper. Ryder back towards the original line of scrimmage. He's going to be tackled by Davion Baker. Third down and about 11, maybe 12, and the ball's going to be spotted at about the 46-yard line.
That's one of those things, even back to throughout last season, Mike, that really surprised me about Eli Ryder. And clearly we saw him throw the ball so well all season, but he's a deceptively strong running quarterback. He's not tremendous size. He's certainly got nice height at 6'2", but he's a thinner guy, and you do worry about maybe the pounding and the wear and tear. But he's got good vision. He stays low. He doesn't take a lot of upright shots and finds a way to get some yardage out of it.
Third and long, 11, Ryder in the gun. 5 seconds on the play clock. Ryder, 3-step drop, looking downfield, steps up in the pocket. He's got space to run. Pump fake, stays on his feet, and he's going to be tackled inside the 40, making it 4th down and short. Tackle made by Nathan Carruthers. And some personnel changes for the Wildcat offense. 4th down and about 4.
Yeah, I tell you what, we talked, said a few minutes ago, if you can get inside to 45 and you're inside of 4th and 10, it's probably most certainly 4-down territory. If it was closer to midfield, maybe you think a little differently. And sure as heck, you got a screen pass, 2 quarterback runs, and you're just looking at a manageable 4th and 4. It'll be interesting to see if the Cats can get that intermediate passing game going. So far they've taken some shots downfield, not with a lot of success, but have hit some screen passes. But we'll see what they've got here.
3 backs in the backfield on 4th and 4. Wyatt Lear in motion. The pitch to Isaac Dolman. Dolman still on his feet. Play coming back the other way. Eli Ryder in a position to make a block. Can't do it. Dolman trying to do it all by himself, and he's going to fall short. A turnover on downs for the Wildcats, and Isaac Dolman did the best he could, but Wyatt Lear, the lead blocker, missed the end, crashing on the play that blew up the play, sent Dolman back the other way, and he just couldn't evade those defenders for the Carlisle Thundering Herd.
No, and unfortunately, they ran 4 plays. A lot of good things happening there, but the whole drive was basically a net of 4 yards from where they started to where they turned the ball over. And so, the reality is, I said that last drive that could be a key one for Carlisle. They don't do much with it, but they've got life, right? It's 5:24 left in the quarter. This might be their last possession of the half. Mechanicsburg's going to get the ball coming out. So this is, again, a must time. But their defense showed up that time. The Cats helped them with a couple penalties that left them on the field a little, longer than they needed to be, and Carlisle holds them. And so here we go.
Carter Wilson in the shotgun. Chance Bonner takes the handoff. Bonner looking to bounce off the left side, goes nowhere. Drew Freeland in on the tackle. But again, Carlisle down 14 and still very content from head coach Brandon Cook to hand the ball off to Chance Bonner. I don't know if there's not a lot of confidence in his sophomore signal caller or if he is just dedicated to the game plan.
Yeah, I mean, and at some point he's going to have to come away from it. I don't think you have to come away yet at 2 scores at all. You managed to get something here, and it's a 1-score game, right? So you stick with it. He did try to do a few different things last time, and it didn't really, as I said, it didn't really get him much. And you go, okay, we'll run the jet sweep. We'll give it to this guy. You know what? Sometimes the guy's going to get the ball, and you still can't stop him.
2nd down and 8. Wilson in the gun. Wilson, short drop, rolling to his left, looking deep, goes down the far sideline. The pass is incomplete, intended for Xavier Campbell. And watching this Carlisle offense, we've all watched the Army-Navy game, and I'm not sure how many people watch Army or Navy football on a regular basis outside of the Army-Navy game. But it reminds me of when one of those teams is down, in that they run the ball all the time. And then when you have to pass, you struggle because it's not a part of your regular game plan.
No, where they get their big plays, and I do get to watch Army a couple times a year with Colonel Robinson up there at West Point. It's always a special treat. And when you can play with a lead, that's when you like to throw the ball, right? It's deception. You fake the belly, you fake the dive, you pull it out, and you pop it to a tight end. But not when everybody knows you need to throw. And so, but I tell you what, the receiver got behind the D-back, and that's going to happen if you run the ball every play. So the Cats need to be disciplined and read their keys.
Some movement, no flag. There's a late flag. Chance Bonner takes the handoff. He picks up the first down for the time being. Still on his feet as Colin Stair, along with Vince Woolery, combined to bring down Chance Bonner. And we'll wait for the official call. Illegal motion against Carlisle. So in pregame, Dave, I mentioned about some assistant coaches that Dave Heckert has brought back, some new ones that are on the roster. That assistant coach roster includes Jeff Costello and Frank Rubinik, 2 that are back. We also have David Payne, Steve Ryder, Joe Crescenzi, Jason Misty, and Josh Hinkle, plus Matt Ioannidis. And if you are a Washington Football Club fan or Carolina Panther fan, you may remember Matt Ioannidis. He played in the NFL, and he is an imposing figure on the sideline in maroon and steel for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats.
Well, you're talking about the NFL pedigree, and that's pretty impressive when I heard that Coach Eckert had a contact there and had him there. But it is great to see some other MASH alumni. Dave Payne is a MASH alumni, has been here once before as an assistant. He's back in Jason Mesiti. He played on that good 04 team, was a class of 06. But yeah, when you get somebody with some NFL pedigree, we haven't had that on the sideline since Coach Hakel was here. That brings a little different element to the coaches' meetings. It brings a little different element to the film study with the team. No doubt it's an advantage, and it's exciting that the Cats have that on their side.
Carter Wilson's pass intended for Josh Smith incomplete, so the punt unit comes on the field. I believe it was last winter, maybe the winter before last, I was in Dillsburg getting my hair cut at the Polar Bear Den, barbershop on the main drag there in Dillsburg, and this big fellow was in there, big, long, bushy beard, and the barber tells me, oh, yeah, that guy used to play in the NFL, and we figured out that it was Matt. So my first interaction with Matt and his beautiful dog that he had there at the barbershop was while we were getting our respective hairs cut.
Yeah, I've not had a chance to meet him, and I guess he's not from this area, but he's a friend, became friends with a friend of Coach Eckert, and somehow ended up in this area.
I believe he went to Temple, and it's possible, if I assume the pieces properly, that maybe a wife of some sort, or the wife, may be from this area. So they've come back to this area to live after the NFL.
Yeah, I think that's true, but I think he also played at Temple with a CV teammate or kid that Davey coached as well. Yeah, so there's a couple connections, I think, to bring you. I think we take it for granted, Central Pennsylvania, when you're from here, right, or when you live here. But there's a lot of people who want to be in this location. It's a pretty good place to be.
More on that in a moment. First down and 10 for the Cats following the Chance Bonner punt. Inside handoff goes to Brady Spots, so changing things up with a different back out of the backfield, and Spots picks up where Dolman left off, gaining 12 yards, first down and 10 with 3:52 remaining. You talk about Central Pennsylvania and how beautiful it is. At my day job the last couple of days, I've had the opportunity to work with Bobby Carradine of the Carradine acting family, famously Lewis in Revenge of the Nerds, or I believe he was the dad on Lizzie McGuire. He lives in Los Angeles, lives right down the street from the Hollywood Bowl. And he was raving about how beautiful Central Pennsylvania is. He and some of his friends are staying in the Lake Mead area this weekend.
Okay.
And he just cannot stop talking about how beautiful this area is. So certainly don't take it for granted because we've got a pretty good thing.
That's for sure.
First down and 10. Ryder, Jack DeLuca. And that's probably going to be a run for DeLuca as he evades one would-be tackler and picks up 5 or 6 yards. So make it a run for Jack DeLuca. Second down and medium for the Wildcats, now in plus territory. The ball spotted at about the 46-yard line. Carruthers on the tackle for Carlisle.
Yeah, they got to get back to business here. You know, they had the drive. It started with the kind of the botched short punt that turned into a repunt, and the repunt put them at the 43-yard line, and they didn't make anything of it. So it's been a while since the Cats have kind of put a first down together. So here we go, 2nd and 5. I think a big play. They got to get back, get some of that mojo, get some of that momentum that they had for them back in the first quarter particularly.
I want to thank everybody who has found us on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. Be sure to subscribe if you do not already. 2nd down and 5. Ryder in the gun. And the handoff goes to Spots, and Spots will move the chains for the second time. Needed 5, got 8. First down and 10 for the Cats. The ball inside the 40 at the 39-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's really nice when you can do that change of pace, right? Dolman's what you call it, he's a halfback. He's a tailback. You get him on some tosses, you get him on some maybe some dives. But now when you can turn around with a quick handoff, I saw on your players to watch or something I read in the papers about Spots, a player to watch. I didn't know much about him. First 2 carries are very promising. Nice size to him. Does run a little bit upright, but obviously the traps, the bellies, the inside handoffs are right there for him.
Isaac Dahlman back on the field. He takes the handoff, bounces around the right side, pushed out of bounds by Michael Hakeem. A bit of a hit from Hakeem there in front of the Carlisle bench.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It wasn't. It's hard to tell from here. It seemed like he was maybe a step out of bounds. I don't know. It's right on the line. I think it's debatable, but I tell you what I like when I watch Dolman. You saw it there. The vision, right? The start and stop. It's not one speed, right? He set up. You can set guys up with your speed. You set guys up with your hips. You set guys up with your eyes, and that might have been something that was a no yard gain or a 1 yard gain, and through his own skills, he created a little separation for himself. Picked up a couple yards.
There's a couple of players on the Wildcat team looking for those 1,000-mark thresholds. Josh Smith as a receiver, Eli Ryder as a quarterback, and Isaac Dolman as a runner. 2 backs in the backfield. Spots and Dolman is gobbled up and thrown down in the backfield. A nice job defensively by Carlisle's Damon Jones.
Yeah, someone, up front there, they whiffed on something because that is the first time anybody's come straight through for Carlisle. Probably their biggest defensive play of the game. It looks like he came in over the left side of the offensive line, found a gap, and just beat somebody with his first step.
That somebody was Justin Bardo, and that's not the kind of play we're accustomed to seeing Bardo make.
No, he's a guy who gives his all for his team. I mean, we saw a big interception when he was a sophomore out of Carlisle. Plays both ways. He's there in the end when you need him. But left tackle, and not your biggest left tackle. He's a thick, solid kid, but left tackle is usually for the 250-pounders, not for the basketball players.
Slant pass to Josh Smith. Tackle made by Davion Baker. Now here's a stat to be aware of, Dave, and that is the fact that Justin Bardo has scored a touchdown in every varsity game he's played against Carlisle.
Is that right?
Yes.
I'm not surprised by that.
2023 last year, the hitch and pitch right here at the stadium.
Yep.
2022, an interception return for a touchdown
in
Carlisle.
Yep.
I'm not saying that I know that anything's going to happen tonight, but I'm saying that Justin Bardo has scored a touchdown in every one of his varsity games against Carlisle.
Well, we'll see here. We got a half of football and then some to see what happens. And anything's possible when you get down inside the 5-yard line. Certainly with a lineman as athletic as Bardo is.
Injury on the field. We'll take a quick break. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. It was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
The injured Carlisle Thundering Herd player was Davion Baker. He's being helped off the field under reduced power. And he'll be tended to by the training staff on the far sideline. It is 4th down and 2. The Cats keep the offense on the field. This would be a good time for a quarterback draw from Eli Ryder. 4 wide receivers to his left, a single receiver to the right, and we know Ryder has some speed. Look at that.
That's a designed run there. They pulled a lineman for him, created a nice little seam, and off they go. Yeah, they were four wide left and 1 right, and so I was watching that linebacker to see, and they got down on him and set it up nicely.
Chains move. Walliver with the tackle for the Thundering Herd. A nice crowd tonight at Memorial Park and John H. Frederick Field. Of course, Carlisle not all that far away, about a 20-minute drive. Ryder's pass complete to the 20-yard line. Drake Dawson hauls it in, and the Cats are in a bit of a hurry up with 1 minute remaining. Still 2 timeouts for the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Chance Bonner with the tackle. The Cats looking to put some points on the board before they head into the locker room. And oh, by the way, they'll have the ball to start the second half.
That was Bardo pulled on the quarterback draw, and then they got the tight end involved on the first down play. So getting back to the basics, mixing in some different players, making some things happen as they look to put some more points on the board.
Isaac Dolman with a little shimmy shake near the line of scrimmage. And Carter Wilson, playing on the defensive side of things, makes the tackle for the Carlisle Thundering Herd. 1st down and 10 for the Cats. Hurry up offense one more time. 4 wide receivers, 2 to either side. DeLuca and Smith on the near side left. That pass, jump ball, 50-50 to Josh Smith, and incomplete. No, touchdown. Touchdown, Josh Smith.
Well, whoever's got the lights called it a touchdown before the official, I think, called it a touchdown, so he couldn't back down at that point in time. But
well, when we lose it in the corner there where we have our camera set up, I didn't think he had it, but he popped up all excited. The official wasn't as ready to call that touchdown as Josh Smith. And who is driving these lights here? What is this?
I'll tell you what, I like it. Let's keep whoever it is.
Eli Ryder's second touchdown pass of the game. Josh Smith's first score of the season. That came from about 15, 20 yards out, and Minnick's extra point is up and good. 31.1 seconds remaining in the first half. It's Mechanicsburg 27, Carlisle 6. We'll be right back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management are proud supporters of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When you're faced with tough business, personal, and financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. They specialize in retirement planning and complex financial situations as their team helps you define and attain your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you. Advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call today. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Welcome back to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Mike Garland, Dave Harris, and you on GoMechanicsburg.com. And I have to stand corrected. That was Eli Ryder's third touchdown pass of the night. Passes to Dolman, DeLuca, and Mr. Reliable Josh Smith.
Yeah, I tell you what, spreading the ball around. We said, okay, it's been a while since the offense put some first downs together. Well, they put some first downs together. They ran the fullback there. They ran the tailback there. They passed to the tight end, and then they hit the stud wide out on the fade in the corner of the end zone.
Babiak's kick is fielded by Xavier Campbell, who takes it up to about the 32-yard line. And it's interesting to see a soccer player for Mechanicsburg kicking for the football team. And I only say that because this winter I watched the soccer coach for Mechanicsburg kick for a football team in Joe Panuccio was the kicker for the Harrisburg Stampede in indoor football.
Well, we're seeing it more and more, right? I mean, it's long been there, right? We've seen it from the Bars, Chris and Matt Barr in the NFL, and a number of other Englishmen making their way into the NFL. But you kind of went away for a while. You saw people, again, trying to make it in the college game, but now you got more guys making it into the NFL who didn't kick in college, but again, are professional soccer players.
Wilson in the shotgun, 24.2 seconds remaining in the first half. Carlisle down 21, and Bonner goes nowhere. And it looks like the Cats are going to be content with this lead. Dave Heckert not looking to call any timeouts. He'll take 2 with him to the locker room. And that ball gets away, and now Jack DeLuca in no rush to go pick it up. And no one really seems to care that the clock is still running. And in fact, Carlisle is starting to walk towards the locker room. So the Thundering Herd will not run another play in this first half. The teams head to their locker room. A very impressive home opening first half for the Wildcats thus far. We're going to take a break. Come back with halftime and a look at what's going on with our friends at Operation Wildcat. It's Mechanicsburg 27, Carlisle 6 on GoMechanicsburg.com and now on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
In the search for epic bargains, one grocery store will stop at nothing to make sure you save more on the brands you love. Starring produce and you as the super saver in Bargain Bliss.
Bliss.
Todd, we talked about this.
Our deals are just so epic.
I know, Todd. I know.
Grocery outlet, bargain market.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub surface and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Craig was in the Rockies and had to cut his ski trip short because he was having severe knee pain.
Lauren came in. She was really discouraged. She had tried 3 months of therapy. Nothing was working. She really wanted to get back to volleyball.
We found that he had severe arthritis in both knees and his hip.
She needed shoulder arthroscopy with slap and posterior labral repair.
Simultaneous bilateral total knee replacements.
6 months of recovery, and Lauren's back, happy as ever.
3 months after his final surgery, Craig sent us pictures of him skiing the Rocky Mountains. And that's what makes our job here at OSS Health so fulfilling.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails.
And so it's quiet, and we try to respect people's privacy.
We're talking with Leslie Collins. She's the president of Operation Wildcat and the co-chair of Project Back to School. And with the first day of school coming on Monday, we are discussing the importance of Project Back to School. But you have other projects with Operation Wildcat as well. There's a couple on the horizon that will require some attention, especially with homecoming not too far down the road. Leslie, can you touch on some of the other projects just in short and how someone may be able to get involved?
Okay, so to get involved, all you have to do is go onto our website, operationwildcat.org, and there's a button to click on that says get involved, and you can help out that way. But we have, so you mentioned homecoming. Project Glam is going to have 2 open houses, September 22nd and the 28th at the high school. Change of location from the middle school. We'll be at the high school this year. We'll have Project Boo, which will be in October. Again, that's an open house. Both Glam and Boo open houses, it's open to all. You just don't have to be a family in need. It's open to everyone. We will have a general meeting in on October 9th, and all are invited to come if you want to learn more about Operation Wildcat and how to get involved. And then we have our big yard sale coming October 18th and 19th, and that's our only fundraiser, and that provides the funding for all our 16 projects, so that if we don't get the donations, we have the funds to be able to support those projects and provide the needs to the families.
OperationWildcat.org, the website. Now let's circle back to the project. You and I are actually talking about Project Back to School. If someone wants to donate and contribute, obviously the website, but how can they be part of Project Back to School? At this point, school starts.
Always accepting donations year round.
Donations you mentioned at the middle school. You also have a warehouse in the community. What are those warehouse hours?
The warehouse hours are Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 3. They're open just about every Saturday and Sunday. Maybe we're closed for certain holidays or if there's a snowstorm or flooding. But it's open most of the time. And people can just drop off donated items at the warehouse. That would be anything from housewares. Yard sale items can be donated at the warehouse.
We've touched on a lot. Is there anything else we want to hit with regards to Project Back to School? Anything we missed?
No, Operation Wildcat is only successful thanks to the wonderful community we have, the wonderful donations, the support we have from the community, support we have from the district and from the counselors and all the teachers and all our volunteers. And just, if you have something that you don't need, think about Operation Wildcat first. And if you have extra time to spare, we always are looking for volunteers.
It's an easy outlet to donate. I've donated bikes, I've donated clothes, I've donated toys. It's really, really simple, and you know that your items are benefiting those in the community and in the district. Leslie, thank you so very much.
My pleasure. And go Wildcats. Let's have a great season this year.
We'll be right back, and Dave Harris will rejoin me from the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth for the second half of tonight's game. It's Mechanicsburg and Carlisle. Tonight's broadcast presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com and now on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. There was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
This is you. And this is us. Hi, we're True Green. We're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. That means we'll give you a pro-level lawn guaranteed. That's a satisfaction guarantee. That's a price match guarantee. That's a guarantee on top of your guarantee. So you can do less of this and more of this.
Walters & Galloway Attorneys at Law is your hometown law firm and devotes a significant part of their practice to estate planning, estate administration, elder law, real estate law, family law, and more. Let their expert team help you sell, purchase, or refinance your home too. Their team can work to prepare your will, trust, power of attorney, or aid in the estate care of a loved one. With 2 convenient Mechanicsburg office locations, you can learn more and make an appointment today by visiting them online at waltersgalloway.com or call 717-697-4700.
Allison and Michael have been in their home for 10 years, and their bathroom really needed an update.
I like doing home projects. Would have definitely taken me longer than we have.
They needed a more convenient option, so they called West Shore.
The design consultant made it really easy.
I left for work with the kids, and they showed up. Morning.
Have a nice day at school.
By dinner time, we had our bathroom.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company is Mechanicsburg's newest family and pet-friendly social experience with food and drink options for the community, from the community. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company is just off South Market Street near the all-new Legacy Park. Stop in before, during, or after the game for food crafted from the freshest local ingredients, plus many award-winning drinks made on site. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park, Suite 400, online at wolfbrewingco.com or call 717-590-7917.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Back at the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, and you. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Well, Dave Harris will be with me in just a moment. I can only pretend that he's here for so long, and then when we show him on camera and he's not here, I guess I can't sell the image. It's been all Wildcats in the first half, 27-6, and it would be a shutout, but for an amazing run by Chance Bonner, 56 yards in the first quarter. And the Cats have scored on the ground and in the air, 3 touchdown passes from Eli Ryder, 1 to Isaac Dolman, 1 to Jack DeLuca, and 1 to Josh Smith at the end of the first half. Then a running touchdown from Isaac Dolman as well. And a season-long, possibly career-long touchdown pass for Isaac Dolman. The Wildcats will have the ball to start the second half as well on GoMechanicsburg.com. And Dave Harris now more officially joins me in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Dave, first of all, how was your halftime?
Well, a lot of people out there, Mike.
I know, right?
A lot of alumni, a lot of former players. So sorry for my my tardiness.
That's all right. I was trying to sell the world on the concept that you were here with me, but then our camera showed you walking back through the crowd.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it's pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Ran into some good guys. Yeah, Perry Albert from the '94 team with Mike Edwards, two of the big players, and Josh Hess. So it was good to talk to him a little bit, catch up with him, and he's good friends with Coach Heckard. They were a little bit of rivals back in the day, but a lot of mutual respect there. So it was good catching up with him and a few other folks out there as well.
You know, Coach Heckard, he's been a Wildcat for a long, long time. We know him as a Cumberland Valley Eagle, but you can't forget the fact that he went off to Villanova, where for 4 years he was a Wildcat.
He was a Wildcat. Yeah, it's interesting. When I got to town in '91, I think back in the day, a lot of the Heckards came to Mechanicsburg before it was Cumberland Valley. I know some of the Heckards lived in Mechanicsburg, so it was a little bit of everybody knew everybody, even though it was Mechanicsburg CV, and so we coached against them. Tim Rimfel and Rich Lichtel were very good friends, good mutual combatants, if you will, in the game of football. Stood for the same things. Pat Barry was an assistant coach at McDevitt with Rimfel. Came to coach with Rich while Rimfel went to CV. So a lot of mutual friends, and it's kind of fun to go back to that time. And so I think of when I think of Rich and I think of Rimfel and I really think of Heckard right after that, and some of those guys. So it was a good era in this region.
Parker Foreman will kick off for Carlisle. Back deep for the Wildcats, Josh Smith and J.J. Gould. 27-6 the Wildcats. Each team has missed an extra point tonight. For the Cats, Tanner Minnick pushed one just outside the uprights, and Parker Foreman missed as well for Carlisle. A new uniform look for Carlisle this year. Black pants with a white stripe, darker green on the numbers and the helmets, with a new Thundering Herd logo as Foreman's kick goes to Josh Smith at the 9. Josh Smith comes near side, bounces off a block from Gould. Josh Smith back towards the middle, and Foreman brings him down. That's a great way to start the second half.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is what I said earlier. The touchback was actually a nice little weapon, but a good lead block there. Springs Smitty and gets him out towards the numbers, and he cuts back in against the grain and has one guy to beat. And that young man was hung on for dear life and made the play, and going to make the Cats here work a little bit for this next score.
First down and 10 for the Cats. Dave, I got to throw out a big thank you to CE Service Center on Trindle Road in Carlisle. They are an electronics fix-it shop. TVs, radios, VCRs, record players, and Mechanicsburg Wildcat broadcast cameras. This camera, I thought, met its demise in early June in Allentown, but the crew at CV Service Center was able to put it back together, so we thank them for their hard work. Dominic Baker in motion, the handoff to Reese Miller. So Coach Heckard changing things up here a bit in the second half. And while there's still plenty of football left, something that Coach Heckard has the luxury to do in this game that no Mechanicsburg coach has been able to do for the last 10 years against Carlisle, and that's maybe play some of the twos in a second half.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a quarter from now we'll probably be seeing, if things remain as they have remained, we could see a bit of a bench emptying, especially because I don't believe there is a JV game with Carlisle. But right now, he's still trying to figure out what pieces he has for later on in the season.
Eli Ryder, flag in the backfield. Handoff.
Probably a shift here or a motion. Yeah. Yep.
One more time to Reese Miller. That'll bring the Cats back 5. So 2nd and 5 becomes a 2nd down and 10 as J.J. Gould and Josh Smith come in. Noah Apple originally headed towards the sideline. Now Drake Dawson, Brady Spots, and Reese Miller. Into the game for the first time is Brendan Mena. We mentioned his name a few times last year on the back end of the season. Mena in the backfield for the Cats and head coach Dave Heckard.
Yeah, it'll be one of those things to watch a little bit as you start to get some of the substitutions in and seeing what your twos can do and seeing what they can add to what you're doing. Do they have some of the finer pieces down in the discipline and avoiding the motions and the false starts and things like that?
Dominic Baker takes the handoff, tries to bounce it outside, evades one tackle, can't get away from the second guy. Xavier Campbell with the tackle for loss, plus a flag in the backfield.
We have our first faux penalty of the season, I think, Mike. That was Josh Smith did everything could to stay off that player, and I don't know that there was any contact. the kid shot up and made a nice play. But I think, I know we'll see what Coach Eckert thinks after he watches the film, but I don't think there was much contact there.
Well, I talked to Coach Dave Eckert during our Coach's Corner segment about the outlook on the season, the high expectations. And, of course, you can't go 10-0 until you can go 1-0. And one of the things he talked about was playing smart football. That penalty declined by Carlisle. But this is the second, third, and long situation that the Cats have faced in recent memory here in this season opener.
Well, you want to run the ball, right? You're up 3 scores, right? You want to run the ball. You don't want to be passing the ball up and down the field. You don't want to you want to work on both parts of your game, but now you have to.
Ryder slings it down the middle of the field. Josh Smith with the catch. Smith retreated a yard or two, then surges forward, picks up the first down for the Wildcats. Chains move. They needed 14, got about 17.
Yeah, nice play there by Smitty coming across middle. We talked a little bit about maybe some intermediate routes, you just can't stay with Josh Smith. And it's nice to take those vertical shots. You got to take that. You got to stretch out the defense, but you bring him across on an intermediate route, and I just don't know how a high school player is going to stay with him too often anymore. And so that was a perfect example. You said he gave up a yard. That almost always is not a good decision to go backwards when you should be going forwards, but he knew he had the speed to get to the corner and did.
And that's the thing, is Josh Smith is faster than almost everyone on the football field.
And he makes it work for him.
Ryder rolling to his left, throws, pass high, intended for Brendan Mena, and it was tipped off the hands of Michael Hakeem, nearly an interception and a first turnover by the Wildcats, but Mechanicsburg dodges that bullet.
Yeah, again, if you're Coach Eckert, you're it's not that you weren't trying to. You can't run out a half of a clock, right? You're not trying to do that. So it's nice to see him come out and throw on first down there. But I'm sure he wants to try to ground it a little bit, put enough stuff on film there as well, not show too much more with the passing game that he doesn't need to show in week 1. But at the same token, you can't put yourself in 3rd and 15s all the time either, as you said.
Second down for the Cats. 2 wide receivers to the left of Josh Smith. Single back in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the right as well. Josh Smith is at the bottom of your screen and a delay of game penalty. So what did you say about second and long? 2nd and 15 now for the Wildcats following at least their second delay of game penalty.
Yeah, and they have not had a lot of trouble getting plays in tonight. That is something that has plagued them in recent seasons, getting personnel packages in, getting play calls in, and maybe using some unnecessary timeouts, getting obviously more delays of games than is normal. 1 on a night isn't terrible, especially the first game of the season. The fact that it's in the 3rd quarter is a little bit surprising.
So 2nd down and 15 following the delay of game penalty. Single back in the backfield, 4 wide receivers. Ryder takes the shotgun snap on line, looking left, rolling back to his right, and finds Dominic Baker out of the backfield, who gains maybe a yard or 2. 3rd down and long for the Wildcats. Chance Bonner with the tackle.
Yeah, you're still on the other side of the 50. I think you probably punt it away if you don't get a first down here, simply because make them drive the length of the field, right? It's not that you don't think you can get the first down. Now, again, are we talking about 4th and 12? Or are we talking about 4th and 2 is a big part of it. So let's see if they can pick up half of this here on this play. And then it becomes a little bit different kind of decision.
3rd down and 14, so officially just a gain of 1 on that last play. Josh Smith goes in motion. Ryder fakes the pitch, keeps up the middle. Eli Ryder needed 14, got maybe 10. So again, 4 down territory as the Cats will hustle to the line of scrimmage. And we'll see if they don't try to draw Carlisle off sides here, though they line up with a spread formation, 4 wide receivers. And that pass is short and tipped at the line of scrimmage. Damon Jones knocks it down, and a turnover on downs for the Wildcats. 1st down and 10 for Carlisle. So Mechanicsburg can't do anything with their first possession in the second half.
No, and they came up quick, and they had a nice little hitch play to Josh Smith right there. Got just past the sticks. It was nice play call, but the defensive end from Carlisle, the young man there, saw it coming and made a nice play on the ball. I don't know if that was Jones. Did you call? Was that who that was? I'm not sure it was 59 or not, but a defensive end here on the right-hand side got a middle on the ball and
Damon Jones.
The plays.
First down and 10 for Carlisle. They have the ball on their own 38-yard line. We thank you for tuning in on GoMechanicsburg.com, now on YouTube at GoMechanicsburg. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, and stay tuned following the conclusion of this game for our 11 Oaks Farms player of the game as Chance Bonner takes the pitch on the far side, surges forward a gain of 11, maybe 12, or are they going to signal him short? They're going to say he was short. So it's going to be 2nd and 1.
Well, they're moving
the chains started to move, but looks like everybody but the side judge thought he gained 10. Instead, he's being credited with a 7-yard run, maybe 8, 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, I didn't see that he must have stepped out or something because it sure as heck looked like he got 11, 12 yards.
Officially 2nd and 2 on the scoreboard. 4 wide receivers, Bonner in the backfield, Carter Wilson in the gun. Handoff to Bonner, and Colin Stair makes first contact. Justin Bardo not too far behind. And some pushing and shoving on the far side of the field. There's an injured Wildcat, though immediately it looks to be a cramp. So whoever that downed cat is, he's being tended to currently by one of his own teammates as Dr. Sandy Zettelmoyer trots out as well. It's a little warm. It's not quite as warm as it normally is during this time of August, but still, these kids are playing at a whole new level and a different speed compared to what they've been doing over the last 2 weeks, and cramps are inevitable.
Yeah, they have had obviously had a week of heat acclimation and then some practice time before a scrimmage and of course first game. But you're right, it's a little unseasonably cool the last couple of days. I think we all enjoyed it. But when you're out there, there's a little bit of mugginess out there tonight, and then you get out there and start running around for a couple hours, and it might as well be 90 degrees and 90% humidity if you're a player.
Dave, we have this new YouTube streaming platform. It's not like YouTube is new by any stretch, but we've made the transition this year, and one of the cool things is I can see some of the analytics, and I know that over 1,000 people are watching this game right now, so thank you very much. We appreciate you tuning in and following us to YouTube, and whether you're a Carlisle fan tuning in for a one-off or you're a Mechanicsburg fan tuning in because you're cheering on your Maroon and Steel, we appreciate you doing so. First down and 10 for Carlisle, the ball in plus territory. At the Mechanicsburg 49, low shotgun snap. Wilson picks it up, rolls to his right, steps up in the pocket, going deep, has Bryson Rudolph wide open, and just can't connect.
Well, he got behind Smitty here a little bit. The quarterback was able to buy time, had a nice lead block from Bonner, so he does more than just run the ball. And he had a receiver who got well behind Josh Smith. But the quarterback, who was under some pressure when he released it, just let it fly and overshot it by a bit. So, yeah, Josh Smith's got to read his keys and stay at home. But, again, this is what you have. And you talked about Army and you talked about Navy. I got Bonner for about 15 runs and the quarterback, Wilson, for about 4 runs. And that was their third pass of the game, according to my numbers.
Second down and 10. The ball spotted on the far side hash. Bonner, the deep back, Wilson, the quarterback, just in front of him. At least 3 wide receivers on the left side, a single receiver on the near side, and some motion. And there was an odd formation by Carlisle and a little confusion by the Thundering Herd as well. And you get a false start penalty called against Carlisle. I mentioned in the first half, 19 seniors for the Wildcats. Next week will signify their first last day of school, and tonight, after years of practice, 2-a-days, blood, sweat, and tears, this is their final first game of the year. And you know what, Dave, across all seasons, high school sports certainly special, but something extra special about playing under the Friday night lights when you can do so in front of your family and friends of the community, and it makes this time of year just a little bit more special for sure.
Yeah, Rich Lichtel used to say sports, and of course he was a football coach, so he's thinking football. But fall sports, he said, they're the front door to your school. They're the front door to your school year. It is where you get so much pride, and whether it is a football game or whether it is a soccer game or cross country meet, we've had a lot of fall success. We've had a lot of sports success in the last 6-7 years at Mechanicsburg, and it really does make a big difference in how kids view their school and view themselves as they head back to school. So
Bonner on the carry, a loss of 1. And fall sports are unique in that you can play a game or 2 before the school year starts, but there's something even more unique about spring sports in that what happened with the softball squad you're representing your school after high school graduation. So there were a select few young ladies on Coach Heaston's softball squad in June that had already graduated and gone out into the real world, so to speak, as that pass is complete. Wilson on the far side of the field. It looks like Bryson Rudolph with the catch. A few young ladies that were playing softball post-graduation.
Yeah, well, they had a great season last year, very successful. And, yeah, if you get into the state playoffs, you are playing into June, and our graduations have typically been falling the Friday after Memorial Day. So, yeah, let's hope we have a little bit more of that coming this season for softball for sure, but as well as maybe some other sports.
Probably the second biggest offensive play of the night for the Carlisle Thundering Herd, that big pitch and catch from Carter Wilson to Bryson Rudolph moves the chains, but on 1st down and 10 from the 20, the offense goes nowhere as Justin Bardo makes a big stop. And, Bardo led this team last year in tackles, Dave, with 90, 47 solo, 43 assists, 8 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and he did it in 8 games.
Yeah. Well, I don't doubt one of the reasons we haven't mentioned his name a whole lot defensively is I'm sure they know where he's at and they're trying to go somewhere else because that was a perfect example. There's a running back who had a full head of steam and he stood him up at the line.
10 seconds of the play clock. Wilson in the gun, takes the snap, one-step drop, looks across the middle, finds Michael Hakeem. And the Cats stand up Hakeem.
Oh, we just get a late foul because we throw him to the ground, and I hope it's not the player who drew some penalties last year. It is, again, that discipline. We've got to work on that.
That's Brendan Mena. We've mentioned his name a couple of times.
We had some of that last year, and it's, I know he doesn't get a lot of chances. He wants to get out there and he wants to make something good happen, and he did. He made a nice play, but you got to stop at the whistle.
Forward momentum had been stopped, and if this call does go against the Wildcats and Mena, it's going to be a first down.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, already it looks, two of the last 3 plays, it looks like a different offense, not just the 30-yard pass, but that was actually a nice little pass play for a team that has been pass adverse and not really had much of a scheme. They're going to have that with the schedule they play. They are not going to be able to run Bonner play after play against State College, Cumberland Valley, Central Dauphin, Chambersburg, Bishop McDevitt. Just not going to work.
1st and goal for the Thundering Herd. Wilson in the gun. 2-step drop, rolls to his left, chucks it towards the end zone. And the pass is incomplete. Referee David Spizzeri's microphone was on, so we heard him chime in during the play as well.
That's never a good thing. You don't want a live mic when you don't know you have a live mic.
I always worry about those hot mic moments. There is no flag on the play. I will say we have this new fancy flag graphic at the bottom, and our score interface operator is potentially asleep on the job right now. Well, too many Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
I think that's what it is.
We might have to chime into the booth over there and tell him to
I believe that's an additional task that you've given him. I hope that's commensurate with additional pay. If not, that might be why it's not happening.
There's Chick-fil-A in there.
Well, there you go.
Bonner running the ball.
Nice play there by Drake Dawson. I'm not sure who else was in on that, but he stood him up, and that was a negative play there. That's what I've liked. I do think the defense looks leaner. It looks stronger. It looks quicker. I don't want to say they haven't been dominant tonight because they have been in some respects, but Bonner's again gotten his yardage too at times. A 21-yard run, a 56-yard TD on kind of a broken play, but a 7 and a 4-yarder this half. So he's had some nice plays, but it does seem like over half his carries are for one or negative yardage. So the linebackers and the D-line doing their jobs.
3rd down and goal. Catch showing blitz. Wilson takes the snap, rolls to his right under pressure and down. Drake Dawson gets the sack. And 4th and goal is a heck of a lot longer out now. Outside the 15, closer to the 20.
Well, Drake just comes and the quarterback just goes, There's just nothing good that can come if he tries to whip that ball. He's not going to get it off. It really was a smart play by the young quarterback. We'll see. I don't know if they have a kicker or not. It's going to be about a 35-yard. It doesn't look like they're going to kick. So, about a 40-yard field goal would have been 30, 39 maybe. But going to stick with the offense.
4th and goal from the 21, and now
another cramp here.
A cramp. And with that cramp, we'll take a timeout as well. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Inventory levels are back at the Bobby Rahal Auto Group, where honesty, selection, and great prices meet. We never priced vehicles over MSRP and never will. Come visit us today and drive away with your dream car at a great value. Bobby Rahal Automotive Group, your trusted destination for the best vehicles and exceptional service. Online at bobbyrahal.com.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab. Or drop by your office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Following the Josh Smith cramp, it's 4th down and goal from the 21. 27 seconds on the play clock. Carlisle, a long drawn-out cadence, trying to get the Cats to jump. Wide open pass is completed to green and white Josh Smith inside the 10, but Josh Smith out of bounds at about the 5, turnover on downs.
Yep.
So 1st down and 10 for the Cats. And not a lot of celebration for Mechanicsburg. I think they know they dodged a bullet on that one.
Yeah, I don't know what they ran a wheel route. They ran a double dig on the outside, right? Double inside route, and that pulled the coverage in, and they wheeled 25 out of the backfield. And the quarterback hung it up there. It was a nice play by the young quarterback, and a great catch because I thought he let him out of bounds. But clearly the receiver got his toes in, and nice play. Unfortunately, it doesn't really yield anything much for the Thundering Herd.
1st down and 10 for the Wildcats, and Josh Smith will stay on the sidelines, leading by 21. Want to make sure that your ones are healthy for week 2 against Palmyra for the Wildcats. Conference play opens next week against the Palmyra Cougars, then the road trip to Mifflin County, home on September 13th against Lower Dauphin. That is the only home game in the month of September. Wyatt Lear goes in motion, and the handoff goes to Dominic Baker, who's tackled in the backfield by Chance Bonner, and a nice job by Bonner breaking through the front line to make that stop.
Yeah, kid who, again, a big running back we talked about, but he plays a nice linebacker as well. And so now you got us here at second and long, as they lost 2 yards on that.
It will be 2nd and long for the Wildcats. Ryder and Noah Apple, the backup quarterback, coming in. I suspect we'll see Apple taking some snaps later on in the game if this score holds.
Yeah, they really want to get out of this hole a little bit for a lot of different reasons, right? I mean, we haven't seen the full regular punting unit yet for them. It's early in the game. You don't want to be kicking your first punt from the end zone if you can avoid it. You'd like to grind out a couple first downs and not put Carlisle in great field position, but
Dominic Baker again with the carry. Gets back to the 4, a gain of 1. 3rd down and 11. Tackle made by Trent Gerhardt, senior, 6'2", 180 for the Thundering Herd. For Carlisle, it doesn't get any easier. After a 1-9 season last year and what looks to be a week 1 setback, they travel crosstown Mechanicsburg to take on Cumberland Valley to open conference play in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. And then it's a virtual murderer's row of high school football. Central Dauphin, CD East, Bishop McDevitt, Harrisburg. And I'm not sure it gets any easier from there. Dominic Baker with the running play on 3rd and long, weaving in and out, spinning off would-be tacklers. Finally brought down near the 15, very close to a first down. It's going to be 4th and 1, maybe 2, and we'll see if Coach Heckert is going to gamble up 21 in the shadows of his own end zone.
Well, that's it. That was a great effort, first of all, a great running effort and nice downfield blocks across the board. Yeah, just I know you feel confident about your ability to get a yard, but going for it inside your own 15-yard line, there's just no reason to set them up. And you got to get your first punt of the season at some point. They created some space, some separation. I think this is a smart play, even though it's very, very tempting to see if you could Could move the sticks.
Cats had some trouble with the long snaps last week in the scrimmage against Cedar Crest. Justin Bardo late on the field, but 5 seconds on the play clock. So Bardo is the up man. The snap is online, and a flag, and likely an illegal formation. So that'll back the Cats up 5 yards, and instead of 4th and 1, it'd be 4th and 6. But did they draw Carlisle offsides? It looks like they did.
That's why they put him in motion.
Just like they drew it up.
Just like they drew it up. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of little things you can do as a coaching staff, and that's a savvy play. First of all, not a lot of teams use motion on the punt team, which makes a huge difference. And again, we talked about week 1 where there are all kinds of possibilities. You got a lot of kids learning new things. You got a lot of kids who haven't played on this stage before, as we've talked. And that being said, it's again, having your team prepared and having that play call ready to go. Very heads up.
So 1st down and 10. Noah Apple, Josh Smith, Drake Dawson. Just a handful of the 4 wide receivers lined up for head coach Dave Heckard. Inside handoff. Going to, I believe, Brady Spots. Some pushing and shoving after the play as Ryan Walliver getting animated. Brady Spots with the carry.
They give him a 1st down with that, too. It's a 3rd nice carry for him. Again, it's good to see. We knew the offensive weapons they had, and we knew that that's what they would really be centered around, and they still are very much centered around the returning talent. But Spots is a nice addition, somebody who can get some of those yards inside the tackles.
1st down and 10 for the Cats. Spots one more time, and this time it's Carter Wilson coming up from his DB position to make the tackle, and a gain of 1. Josh Smith as well. And Carter Wilson down to a knee, but now up, shaking it off. There was heavy contact. And Wilson maybe favoring a right ankle. Looks like he's trying to stretch it out.
Yeah, I can't say I noticed him out there earlier on the field, and that doesn't mean he wasn't there. I just didn't notice him. I tended to see the other side a little bit more, but it's nice to see a young quarterback getting to play defense, because so many times coaching staffs want to protect the young quarterback, and oftentimes they're one of the best 11 best defenders. You got to get them on the field and let them play in the defensive backfield.
Ryder with the RPO, keeps, gains 6, maybe 7. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. Ryder also playing both ways for the Wildcats. 33 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Cats don't need to run another play if they don't want to.
Well, what they were able to do since they got backed up at the 5 when they took that possession, the running, they've run almost every down, and that has allowed them to chew up that clock, keep it moving. Obviously, they almost picked up the 1st down on running play. Then they picked it up on the penalty, and now they've picked it up previously here, their most recent 1st down on the running play. So you feel good when you can do that. That means your line's starting to grind it out a little bit, but you're also going to shorten the game, of course, at this point, which is what you want to do, up by 3 scores.
So neither team scored in the 3rd quarter, a rapidly evolving 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th. It's Mechanicsburg 27, Carlisle 6. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. We'll be back in 60 seconds on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Craig was in the Rockies and had to cut his ski trip short because he was having severe knee pain.
Lauren came in, she was really discouraged. She had tried 3 months of therapy, nothing was working. She really wanted to get back to volleyball.
We found that he had severe arthritis in both knees and his hip.
She needed shoulder arthroscopy with slap and posterior labral repair.
Simultaneous bilateral total knee replacements.
6 months of recovery, and Lauren's back, happy as ever.
3 months after his final surgery, Craig sent us pictures of him skiing the Rocky Mountains. And that's what makes our job here at OSS Health so fulfilling.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
The first play of the fourth quarter, 3rd down and 1. Eli Ryder in the gun, 4 wide receivers, make it 3, single back in the backfield, and the handoff goes to Brady Spots, who takes it up the middle and then some into plus territory. Down at the 40-yard line, a gain of 22 yards, and the chains will move. And I think it's fair to say we've seen the last of Isaac Dolman in the backfield tonight, and the folks are starting to head towards the exits and get that traffic jam started early.
Yeah, it's always it's such a great setting, and it takes some creative parking to get everybody in here. Getting out is probably the hardest part of the night. So you're right. When it's not coming down to the final second, that this is what we get. But good sign here too for the Cats, chewing it up, moving it, running the clock, running multiple players.
Spots one more time. Spots makes it into the second level. Tackled by Nathan Carruthers. Chance Bonner in the area as well. I have learned now in my 5th year of broadcasting games here at the stadium, especially on Friday nights, I would much rather park out by the circle near the baseball field and walk in versus having to deal with whatever happens after the game if I park close.
Yeah, I park a distance away and do the walk. It's good to get the exercise and not deal with the traffic. I'm with you there.
2nd down and 6. Spots tries to turn the corner, not sure he's got the speed to do so, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield by Xavier Campbell.
Yeah, no, that's one of those things we talked about, him being between the tackles, dives, traps, bellies. That's where they want him. He bounced that one out, and that's fine. You know, that's going to be there sometimes. But you're correct. That's not really what they've drawn up for him.
Injury on the play. We'll take an opportunity to step out real quick on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
The injured Thundering Herd player Chase Bonner, he's been a workhorse for Carlisle tonight. Now he's coming over to the huddle, but I think he's going to have to leave the field for at least one play unless Carlisle were to call a timeout. That's the 4th or 5th different cramp we've seen tonight. Certainly not humid, but it's a warm Friday night. It's actually getting warmer as the weekend progresses. We've had some nice, almost fall-esque weather the last couple of days, but it's going to warm back up into the 90s this coming week. Traffic and weather together on the 7th.
You got it going, Mike. You got it going.
Ryder, quick hitter Josh Smith. Smith bouncing to the outside, tackled by his namesake, Josh Smith.
It's not something you get to do too often there, huh?
No. There are 2 Josh Allens in the NFL. One is a quarterback, and I believe the other is a tackler.
Yeah, difference. Could happen.
But rare. 1st down and 10. Coming up after the game, our 11 Oaks Farms player of the game, and right now it's between Eli Ryder and Isaac Dolman. Now, to Ryder's credit, he's still in the game. Dolman, I think, is pretty much done offensively. As Brady Spots takes the handoff. Spots barreling forward a gain of 2 or 3.
Yeah, I would imagine if they're find a way to punch this one in. And keep in mind, this is a drive that started at their 5-yard line. When they got the ball after the turnover on downs by Carlisle, and then eventually led themselves down the field through getting that penalty on the punt. And so they've just been grinding for what feels like the better part of the last half hour. But I'm sure if they find a way to get to pay dirt, that'll probably be the last we see of Eli Ryder as well.
4 wide receivers. The Cats do spread the field, but likely sticking to the ground and pound with 8 seconds on the play clock. Josh Smith in motion. Ryder will roll to the right. Finds Josh Smith, who turns it up. 4 defenders in front of him. And Josh Smith is a pretty amazing athlete, but you're not going to juke and jive and bust your way past 4 defenders. We're not Barry Sanders here.
Well, no, he's not. But at the same time, he plays one way. That's just the way he knows how to play. And while he's been a very important part of the game tonight and has a touchdown, you know, he was covered heavily as they doubled him pretty much and kind of almost a man underneath with a safety over the top. So I think they're just still trying to get him a few touches and keep him very much involved in the offense.
Quarterback keeper Eli Ryder. Tackle made by Carter Wilson. Ryder, a designed quarterback run, took that snap and picked up first down yardage.
Yeah, and again, another nice block. That's one thing Josh Smith does well downfield, and so do other Mechanicsburg receivers. But again, a nice block downfield, getting a hat on a hat, and that creates that little seam, which believe it or not, you don't need to have a long block to spring him for another 3 or 4 yards as he did there.
Youth sports night here at the stadium. The Smurf, Pee-wee, Pony, and midget football players ran out on the field pregame, and the youth cheerleaders have been cheering with the varsity cheerleaders throughout. The band has been engaged throughout this contest as well, and a flag thrown from the umpire.
Yeah, I think the right guard just kept picking up his hand and putting it back down. I noticed it, and I wondered if they were going to give it a call or not, but obviously they saw it. Yeah, so they're going to get him for a false start.
If that is against the right guard, that's Colin Stair. And it's crazy to think Colin Stair, just a junior, so you get him back next year as well. The Cats are loaded this year. They're not so bad off next year, looking forward to 2025 either.
Well, you knew that last year, right? When you had sophomores, and I think there were 2 and sometimes 3 sophomores starting on that offensive line last season to go along with Bardo as a junior, you know, it pays off, and you got to be patient, and you don't always get to see it up front. But they have not just progressed; they are bigger. I mean, they are big boys.
Ryder, 3-step drop, middle of the field. Drake Dawson hauls it in. Dawson down at the 1. Wow!
Nice throw and nice catch. He put it up high. It was going to be Dawson or nobody, and Drake Dawson climbs the ladder and makes a great catch right at the point of contact. It's hard to tell if that ball broke the plane, but they didn't give it to him.
First and goal. Eli Ryder tried to sneak, but
might have been 12 men on the field because the guy's just running off, and then they called offsides on Carlisle as well.
Dead ball penalty, so the touchdown does not count. It'll be half the distance from the 1.
So that had to be the 12 men on the field, yeah.
Right. So first and goal. I mean, this is that opportunity to get Bardo his touchdown, right?
Well, I don't know if anybody's worried about it except for maybe Bardo's parents and you right now. We'll see if Coach Eckerd's worried about it.
I don't think he is. Ryder under center.
Tush push.
No call yet. I came up with a name for Mechanicsburg's version last year, but I don't remember what it was, so clearly it wasn't too endearing. Touchdown Wildcats. Eli Ryder scores, and I mean, look, it had to be close, but when you take that long to decide, who knows what's happened under that pile.
That's right. He might have been across, back, and across one more time. Well, I keep some shoddy notes, but I think we took possession of that ball somewhere around the 4-minute mark of the third quarter on our 5-yard line. And here we are with 7:20 left in the fourth, and we got a touchdown. So it's a 95-yard drive and a lot of time off the clock.
Tanner Minnick to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Eli Ryder. Snap, hold. Kick is up, and it's good. 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the ball game. It's Mechanicsburg 34, Carlisle 6. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. We'll be right back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
In the search for epic bargains, one grocery store will stop at nothing to make sure you save more on the brands you love. Starring produce and you as the super saver in Bargain Bliss.
Bliss. Todd, we talked about this.
But our deals are just so epic.
I know, Todd. I know.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
7:20 remains of the ball game. Mechanicsburg 34, Carlisle 6. And barring some miracle comeback by the Carlisle Thundering Herd. This is going to be Mechanicsburg's first win over Carlisle since roundabout 2013.
It's been a long time coming, and there have been some good games in there. There really have been, but Carlos just had the number. Even last year was a great high school football game, and just couldn't do what they needed to do at the end to finish the game, put it away. But yeah, this is a big one.
End over end kick goes out of bounds, so that Nathan Babiak kick is going to be flagged, and Carlisle will have the ball first down and 10 from, I believe, the 35-yard line. College football starts this weekend. Couple of big games. The landscape of college football certainly has changed. Money talks and tradition walks in today's, quote, amateur athletics, unquote. And
well, it's long been said they were anything but amateur, and now I think that's been the wrapper's been taken off that, right? It's definitely that. And, you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of money flying around, and somebody's getting it. And that's not to say everything's great that comes with the players getting it, but I think it's also fair to say an awful lot of money was being made and none of it going to the people who are generating the entertainment. So, but it has definitely changed the landscape, and I think we're going to see something that resembles much more like an NFL style, eventually 2 conferences and a playoff system that comes that direction, I think.
And another delay of game penalty for the Carlisle Thundering Herd. And look, I'll be the first one to admit, I'm an old man screaming at the clouds. I'm a get off my lawn kind of guy. It's going to be cool to see some of these matchups that are forthcoming, especially in the Big Ten. But I can't think of any football purist that was dying to see Penn State play Washington or Indiana play Oregon on a regular basis. It's just not something anyone wanted or cared about, except for the people that can make money.
Yeah, I'll disagree with that a little bit. I think it's exciting to see. Again, it depends on the program. I mean, because I'll say, you know, as a Penn State fan, it wasn't always exciting to see us play Rutgers or Syracuse, right, back in the independent days. You know, those games weren't as appealing as some of the big ones.
That pass is completed to Hakeem. Hakeem dodges one tackle into open space, and Brendan Mena tackles him down. So Carter Wilson and Michael Hakeem and the Carlisle Thundering Herd still battling the chains move. Look, it's not all that exciting to watch Penn State play Rutgers now.
Rutgers is going to be pretty good this year, so wait and see. But let's talk about that young man who made the tackle, number 33. We pointed out when he's been a little hot under the collar and maybe drawn a flag. That was a really nice play. Looked like the young man from Carlisle was going to break that, but he got a hold of him and finished the play and made a nice tackle.
First down, check that, second down and 9. Yeah, Mena very aggressive. Fierce out there. 5'8", 150. Collins slings it to Josh Smith. Smith coming back across the middle. Smith and J.J. Gould come together, and the chains will move. Wyatt Lear in on the stop as well for the Wildcats.
Yeah, still just a little bit high on the tackles. You know, just a little bit high. They got to come in waist. You don't have to come in at the knees anymore, but you got to come in the waist, below the chest. You just can't tackle somebody with a head of steam up around the shoulders in the open field.
Another injury timeout for a cramp. Back after this on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pin drops, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, True Green Lawn Care on the East Shore in Middletown, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses, and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. You can go to GoMechanicsburg.com right now and click on the live stream tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support, and I encourage you to support them in turn.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Following the injury timeout, Carlisle's Josh Smith helped off after a cramp. That pass incomplete. Tipped in the secondary by Talon Verdelli. And it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. And, Dave, rare is it that you can say Josh Smith tackles Josh Smith. I'd say even rarer is when you get to talk about each Josh Smith having a cramp.
That is true. That is true. So a lot of commonalities between those two young men. Tell you what, it's impressive watching this quarterback. Again, we talked about them being so one-dimensional, and I know he's young, probably, right? First started as a sophomore. But he throws a nice ball, and they've got a few things they're trying to do, and you do have to wonder if they could stay a little more balanced early on, what that might open up for them, because those are the kind of things, it's got to be really their best chance in terms of some competitiveness. And that doesn't mean that they, I don't know what all the teams in the Commonwealth look like in terms of their depth and their quality, but we know there are a number of them are pretty good, and they're just going to have to, not going to smash it at them, just like that wasn't enough tonight either. So it's good to see them develop that, and I'm excited to maybe see what this kid can do. Might be something we have to pay attention to next year this time.
And that pass to Michael Hakeem incomplete. And games around the Mid-Penn tonight. Carlisle, of course, here at Mechanicsburg, Chambersburg at Gettysburg, Hershey at Milton Hershey, Lower Dauphin at Cedar Crest, Mifflin County at Central Mountain, Northern at Spring Grove in the shadows of the paper mill, Lebanon at Palmyra, and a timeout called by Carlisle. Redland at Cedar Cliff. I guess they're just home. Both teams are home. Shippensburg at Big Spring in the Little Brown Jug game, and some heavy hearts on the Shippensburg side tonight. Greencastle in action as well. And we don't want to dive too deep into what's going on in the Shippensburg community, but some tragedy in the community with the university's head coach, Mark Majeski, and the passing of his young son. So even though that's at the university level, it's in a community where we go to play football and will go later on this year. And his son Brady is on that Shippensburg High School team. So our thoughts and prayers with the Majeski family during this very, very challenging time.
Well, that's it. And they have a rivalry game tonight, right? That's the Brown Jug with them in Big Spring. And because of the 9-game league schedule that's common in the Big Mid-Penn this year, a lot of rivalry games have to be played week 1 this season.
3rd down and 10. Wilson under pressure, rolling out to his right. That might be a fumble, and the ball goes out of bounds. Wyatt Lear was in the area. There's a flag sitting at the 45-yard line, so we'll wait to see what the official call is.
Well, is he going to call intentional grounding? That thing went backwards. I don't think that's intentional grounding.
Yeah, can you ground backwards?
You can't. That's a fumble. That's a lateral. So I think he's getting some help here. He's asking some questions.
And Dave Spazzeri, he's a referee that we've had multiple times, so he's no novice. They are going to call intentional grounding. I mean, it's still going to be a loss of yardage and a loss of down, and ultimately the loss of yardage is going to be greater than what we thought that fumble would be. But it really did look like a fumble.
Yeah, we'll have to ask one of our booth mates over here to the left, a former Mid-Penn umpire of the football variety, in addition to the softball variety, Mr. Mike Pahanic. We'll ask him after the game maybe what he saw and how he might interpret that ruling for us.
4th down and a country mile for the Thundering Herd. Hakeem in motion. Wilson takes the shotgun snap to Hakeem. Hakeem working off a screen from the umpire, and Brendan Mena in on the stop for the Wildcats along with Cody Harvey. You can see the play here. Big hit at the end of the play as Hakeem went down. Turnover on downs.
Yeah, they came across on a vertical route, and it seemed like they caught the momentum. The Cats were kind of sitting a little bit flat-footed, and fortunately Mena came up and made a really nice play.
1st down and 10 for the Wildcats. As we head towards the home stretch, 5 minutes, 44 seconds remaining in this ball game. Mechanicsburg on the way to being 1-0 on the season. And a couple of new faces offensively for the Cats. Noah Apple in the shotgun. Reese Miller in the backfield as well. 4 wide receivers. Miller takes the handoff. Miller tackled near the line of scrimmage by Alil Cook. So 2nd down and about 7.
So yeah, it looks like we largely have all new personnel in there, I think. I think we got the 2nd offensive line in there, it's looking like, in addition to some younger backs. And again, this is so important. I know it's only about 5 minutes, but without a JV game this week, this is a good opportunity for these kids to get on the field.
Handoff to Reese Miller. Miller turns the corner, shoulder down across the 40. And there's a flag at midfield. We'll wait for that official call in just a moment.
Yeah, it looked like a block on the point of attack out there on the top of the field there. Receiver to that side.
I want to thank Athletic Director Seth Pahanik for moving us indoors this year. This is our 5th season of live streaming. The first year was 2020 during COVID. We were indoors that year, but only because we weren't allowed to be near anybody. So we were indoors then, but for the last couple of years, we've been outside the press box. Now with the finality of the new press box on the visitors' side, we were able to move indoors. The visiting team coaches are over there. Tonight, Country Gold WIOO radio over there as well, broadcasting the game on 97.9 FM for the Carlisle Thundering Herd. But it's nice to be indoors. We've got some nice counter space.
Definitely a good setup in here. We don't have to worry about a breeze coming through and taking our papers from us as it did once or twice over the years, so this is good. The other nice thing about the new press box on the visiting side is it really, I mean, this is a premier facility. It's a great setting. It's centrally located in the state of Pennsylvania, and we've received an increasing number of requests from the PIAA to host neutral site PIAA games here, particularly in lacrosse. But I think now with that press box and some winterizing of our restrooms and things like that, we can be in the running to host some more state playoff games in field hockey and lacrosse particularly, and possibly even football, I suppose, at some point if that's an option the district wishes to pursue.
The sticks say 3rd and 3. The score 3rd and 13. The scoreboard says 2nd and 13. And Reese Miller tackled after a gain of 1. So whatever it is, it's that and 12 now.
Well, it's good, though, to see. Again, we talk about them being young kids and getting time, but again, some of these kids are going to get thrust. They're one injury away, right, from being thrust in for a quarter, or maybe having to make a spot start, especially at linemen. These linemen, obviously it's good having Apple in there getting some snaps at quarterback, being able to throw a little bit of a screen pass there, get some touch, get some experience with that pressure coming at him, because you don't know when you're going to need it, and you need him to be ready when that time comes.
Eli Ryder back out to punt the ball away for the Wildcats. Carlisle has no one back deep. And a timeout called by the Mechanicsburg Wildcats. We'll take this opportunity to step out as well and thank our good friends at Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing. They are the official press box food provider of GoMechanicsburg.com. We'll be right back after this.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
4th down and 12, and Eli Ryder to punt for the Wildcats. Ryder, end-over-end punt, fielded at about the 30-yard line from Michael Hakeem. And Hakeem up the middle. 2 nice returns for Michael Hakeem tonight, tackled by Jacob Kuhn. And it's going to be 1st down and 10 for Carlisle near midfield. Want to say hello to field hockey coach Tug Brown. She and her son Josh tuning in tonight. And we know that with the transition to YouTube, it's made the ease of access that much easier.
So you're saying, Mike, a lot more people would have liked to have listened to us before, but just couldn't find us? Is that what you're saying?
I think that they found a way to find us, but we know that the YouTube app is on every smart TV in one form or the other. It's on every phone. Everybody uses YouTube. And a big hit on that play as Chance Bonner is popped take a look at it one more time.
He's run hard all night. He's still in there. 3 minutes left in the game. And that's a young man. We saw Foshi a little bit last year. That's a nice play. He was a nice backup linebacker. He's got a nice low center of gravity. He's got good leverage, knows how to use it, and made the running back pay for it.
Now, Bonner has been a workhorse tonight. He has the lone score, and he did so on an amazing run in the first quarter, some 56 yards. Sophomore Carter Wilson remains in the game. Green and white, Josh Smith, near side wing. Single back in the backfield. Wilson, one-step drop. Passes to a wide-open Devin Vasquez in the flat, and Vasquez picks up the first down. Going back to the streaming platform, people always ask, how can we watch the games? How can we get to the games? They see me set up. They see Ben Shad set up. We have those conversations. When I was in Allentown at Patriots Park for the softball game against Pittston in June, had a couple of older family members ask me that question. And I walked them through how to do it. But on that drive home, a lot of things happened for me on that drive home. But one of the things that went through my mind was, we got to figure out a way to bring the games to the masses with much more ease. And I don't know that it gets any easier than this.
No, there's no doubt about it. I know you'd put the link out, and Seth would tweet it out, you would tweet it out, and that worked. I mean, I think we've been able to provide hopefully a pretty nice service thanks to your technical expertise and investment in time and a lot of time and energy, a lot more than people realize, to put these programs together for our community. But I think that people have come to rely on it in a very good way, and especially when we are making playoffs and there is a distance, your willingness to go to some different parts of the state for this community is much appreciated. And so you're right, all the more if more people can enjoy it and get access to it.
First down and 15 following the penalty against Carlisle. That pass from Wilson is underthrown, intended for Chance Bonner on the far side. And now there's a late flag. I thought maybe there'd be pass interference. There wasn't. But, Dave, if you look at the monitor, there may have been some extracurriculars at the end of the play. And again, Brendan Mena. That's his second dead ball unsportsmanlike tonight. I go back to Gettysburg last year. He did it there. I'm not even sure. Was he even dressed that night at Gettysburg when it happened?
I think there was one where he got it on the sideline. And he's a kid, right? Let's not make too much about singling someone out, but it is clearly he has something to offer this team. I mean, he is aggressive. He can tackle. I'm sure they want him on that field on special teams as a backup D-back, but it's hard to do that if these things happen in the wrong moment in the game. It does change the course of the season in some cases.
First down and 10 for the Thundering Herd. 97 seconds left. Wilson takes the shotgun snap. Wilson scrambling to his right. Wilson in trouble and pushed out of bounds. Leo Foshi on the tackle. So next week, Thursday night, Jackson Hinkle on the stop as well. Next Thursday night against Palmyra, again on the air around 6:10 p.m. with pregame. We will have Coach's Corner. We will have Foundation Facts. We will have your weekly Wildcat scoreboard. I hope to have my voice back by then. And then we will have the first Mid-Penn Keystone game of the season against the Palmyra Cougars.
Yeah, it's exciting. You get, of course, we talk about league play, non-league play. This game counts as much. Well, you can say more because we're playing a 6A school as any other win when we're talking about playoff points. So it's a big way to start the season. And, we'll see if they can get 2 in a row next Thursday night.
Wilson's pass complete to Hakeem. Tackle made by Talon Verdelli. And that's the thing, too, is as our community continues to grow, our school continues to grow, Mechanicsburg is in a bit of a twilight of being a 5A football school. I think they were one body under the line on this most recent reclassification to stay 5A. But in 2 years, I don't see a path where this team isn't a 6A football school.
Well, clearly the number moves, right? The number moves every 2 years for the state. They basically take the number of football playing teams, divided it by 6, and there you are. So that number changes. You turn in your October 1 deadline, and then there's a formula that involves cyber kids and CTC kids and all that kind of stuff. So it is a little more complex. You mail your number in and you find out, here's where we're at. So, even in this 2-year rotation, we are 6A in a couple things, just not football right now, and we're not 6A in every sport. But, yeah, we'll see. You're right. It's only a matter of time.
It's a final, and the lights are doing whatever the lights do. If mine did this at home, I'd be calling PPL, but apparently it's a planned thing here. Wildcats victorious 34-6. We're going to take a break, come back with you in about 5 minutes, and we're going to reveal our first 11 Oaks Farms player of the game. We have 2 candidates, and Dave and I are going to talk about it. Wildcats 1-0. First win over Carlisle since 2013, and we'll be back in just a few moments on GoMechanicsburg.com.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
And I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
Name brand at this price? Is this for real?
Not exactly. That's bargain bliss setting in. You're basking in the glow of name brand beauty products at shockingly low prices.
Oh, that's so refreshing.
There's nothing like a little me time.
Grocery outlet, bargain market.
Just one more minute.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub surface and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Craig was in the Rockies and had to cut his ski trip short because he was having severe knee pain.
Lauren came in. She was really discouraged. She had tried 3 months of therapy. Nothing was working. She really wanted to get back to volleyball.
We found that he had severe arthritis in both knees and his hip.
She needed shoulder arthroscopy with slap and posterior labral repair.
Simultaneous bilateral total knee replacements.
6 months of recovery, and Lauren's back, happy as ever.
3 months after his final surgery, Craig sent us pictures of him skiing the Rocky Mountains. And that's what makes our job here at OSS Health so fulfilling.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
Inventory levels are back at the Bobby Rahal Auto Group, where honesty, selection, and great prices meet. We never priced vehicles over MSRP and never will. Come visit us today and drive away with your dream car at a great value. Bobby Rahal Automotive Group. your trusted destination for the best vehicles and exceptional service. Online at BobbyRayHall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management are proud supporters of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When you're faced with tough business, personal, and financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. They specialize in retirement planning and complex financial situations as their team helps you define and attain your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you. Advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call today. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
We are back. It is final. Mechanicsburg 34, Carlisle 6, and what a home opener it was. Really, Mechanicsburg dominated this game from start to finish, Dave, picking up their first win not only of the season, but their first win against the Carlisle Thundering Herd dating back to 2013. Very impressive.
Yeah, pretty dominant in all phases of the game. Obviously, offense is easy to talk a little bit about. It shows up much easier on the scoreboard, and it shows up on the stat sheet a little bit. But defensively, again, a really good night. One broken play and a great play by Bonner at that, but they had it sniffed out in the backfield and actually had a face mask, if you recall. So they had guys at the point of attack. But they took care of that. One kickoff return, some stuff to clean up there that got him out to midfield, which I think was also, I'm not sure if that was the same drive that led to the touchdown. But otherwise, special teams tight, not a lot of penalties. I think we played turnover-free football. So, if you're Coach Heckard, you're really, really pleased with game one. Obviously, it's a win. Obviously, it's a win with a nice margin. But it was a pretty clean game, too.
A very clean game, and that kickoff return did lead to that touchdown on that particular drive. Offensively, defensively, the Cats look solid. Special teams, some things to work on. But now it's time to name our first 11 Oaks Farms player of the game. They get absolutely nothing but our recognition, but we went back and forth. I was all ready to give it to Isaac Dolman in the first half, and then Eli Ryder kind of did his thing. But till it's all said and done with, I think we give it to both of them.
Yeah, you try to look at in terms of impact. Isaac Dolman had a monster first half and really was a big factor in the game, certainly. And of course, your quarterback is Eli Ryder, a big factor too. Nearly identical statistics in terms of yard responsible for or yardage produced. If you throw in Eli's rushing, though, he had a nice rushing night, and he also had a rushing touchdown. So, two great players and great nights for them.
So we give them both the co-players of the game, and it's a great honor. They win tonight. My kids come up to give me a hug and a kiss goodbye, and we're trying to have a nonverbal conversation here. It's not working very well. But a very solid performance by the Wildcats, top to bottom, by Dolman, by Ryder. They are our first players of the game. And Dave, thanks for hanging out. We begin year 5 together on this wild and wacky broadcast adventure.
Well, we started with a really good one in 2020. A playoff team ended up down at Governor Mifflin against the Nick Singleton-led Governor Mifflin Mustangs. That was a rough night. Let's hope that the 24 season has similar successes and takes us to similar destinations as we move into the postseason.
Well, it would be nice to get to a position where you get that first round bye in the postseason. But again, you can't make it to the postseason unless you can win X amount of games. The Cats can't go 10-0 until they go 1-0. They can't go 10-0 now until they go 2-0. So that's coming up this week with the Palmyra Cougars. Back to school on Monday. You ready?
Everybody's ready. Let's get this thing started.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up for tonight. For our production crew of Nick Behanick on the score interface, Ben Shadd on camera, Dave Harris providing expert color commentary. I am Mike Garland. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight's game presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com.
This has been a presentation of Mechanicsburg High School Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com. Wildcat Athletics is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Rahal Automotive Group, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, Lawnscapes Inc., Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, Walters and Galloway Attorneys at Law, West Shore Home, the Wildcat Foundation, Wolf Brewing Company, and your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care. Additional thanks to the Mechanicsburg Area School District and to all the friends, family, and community members who tune in to watch the games. The Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on GoMechanicsburg.com and on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. We'll see you again next time.